Toronto, Jeremy Guthrie was hurt by the home run ball, and afterwards he said
2 outs on 4 pitches. The next 85 didn't go as successfully as those first 4.
And tonight he looks to get back on track, hoping to pitch the way he did in the season opener against David Price and the Rays. Can he do it? We'll find out next on Masson. It's Orioles baseball on Masson on a hot and muggy night at Camden Yards. The Birds getting set to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. It is the middle game of this 3-game weekend series. And hi, everybody. I'm Jim Hunter. The Orioles bring a 4-game winning streak into tonight's game, and they're getting it done because their starting pitchers have been phenomenal. In fact, the starters have the wins in each of the 4 games. It all began on Monday night when Brian Mattis went to the mound and beat Oakland, and the numbers are overwhelming. A 1.14 ERA combined over the last 4 starts, only 16 base hits to 18 strikeouts. The starters have walked just 8 and just 1 home run over the last 4 games. And Jim Palmer, the question for tonight is now, can Jeremy Guthrie add to that and keep it going?
Well, you know, he certainly has the stuff to do that. Again, I mean, he's coming off 2 starts where he's been hurt by something he's been hurt most of the year. 12 home runs in 12 starts. A lot of games with 2 in each game. 2 3-run home runs have done him in the last 2 ball games. Toronto wasn't close because he got hit early. Up in Seattle, it was later on. But at the end of the day, Mark Hunter said, we just want to be consistent. They've been doing that. And when you get the kind of pitching they've been getting, it allows your offense to relax and get some key hits. That's another thing they've been doing really well.
Yeah, the Orioles really haven't been clubbing the ball over the week, but the pitching has been so good. It's those 1 or 2 key moments that define the outcome and a successful outcome.
Well, it really is. And we saw that in August and September last year. 17 wins in each of the months. ERA came down to 1.5. Runners in scoring position numbers went up. Runs went up to a little over 4 runs a game. That's what they've done the last 4 games. And they're going to try to do it against one of the toughest left-handers in baseball, David Price, tonight.
Yeah, so tonight it's David Price for Tampa Bay, Jeremy Guthrie for the Birds. Middle game of 3. Birds looking to make it 5 straight. Lineups in first pitch are up next. Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. It is a lovely Saturday night here at Camden Yards. The Rays and the Orioles, middle game of 3. And we'll get a look at our game time temperature, brought to you by Train. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. It is 83 degrees, but you can see the culprit, 75% humidity here at Camden Yards tonight. Southwest Airlines starting lineups for Tampa Bay. It'll be Damon, Zobrist, and Joyce, Longoria, Kochman, and Upton, with Jaso, Ruggiano, and Brignac. Casey Kochman, career against Jeremy Guthrie, 8 for 20. 3 of those 8 hits have gone for doubles. And Guthrie ready to go, and he misses down and away, 1-0.
Yeah, let's take a look at tonight's scouting report, brought to you by AFCIA. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Let's get back to that. We'll play it again. Sam, how about a redo of what he did the first game, and where he beat Price, squelched the Gopher ball 12 and 12 starts, and head games. Not easy to beat 2 and 8. It's not what you want to do, whether it's your fault or not. And so again, you've got to be able to focus. You have to be in the moment, and let's hope that Jeremy's able to do that against the Rays tonight.
Johnny Damon having a good road trip for the Rays. 10 for 28, DHing in that leadoff spot. And a bloop out towards shallow center field. Jones in, won't get it. And it falls in there for a leadoff single. Somewhat of a defensive swing at 1 and 2, but he got enough of the baseball and a leadoff single.
Now take a look. There are the numbers. Low ERA, low run support. He's got the 9th lowest in the American League. Again, if he was getting the Arrieta type of runs, his record certainly wouldn't be 2 and 8. Be a lot better than it is. But there have been a few games, not too many, where he's had an opportunity to win and just hasn't executed his pitches. So, he controls the running game, does so many things well, but the one thing his team doesn't do is get him a bunch of offense.
Damon still runs pretty well as Zobrist takes down and in, even though Johnny now at 37. Ben Zobrist, the switch hitter. Damon has 7 steals and 10 attempts. So he is one of those sneaky base runners. You never know what he's going to take off.
You're not going to sneak up on Jeremy Guthrie. So this is not the ideal running situation. Again, if you're going to play just about every game, if Damon's going to do when he's healthy. A little bit different with B.J. Upton. Carl Crawford, obviously, now with the Red Sox. Joe Madden, they stole in 56 bases. You lose Pena, Crawford, and Bartlett, you better try to somehow manufacture some runs, and speed's a big part of that.
Zobrist ahead 2-0, and Guthrie deals. There's a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, I think ideally what Jeremy would like to do is get ahead and then miss out of the zone. There's kind of a saying, you throw enough strikes to get him to swing at balls. When he gets in trouble, he throws enough balls to have to throw them strikes, and that's what happened in the Toronto game. And of course, Toronto, a very, very good offensive team.
Diving back to first is Damon. Jim referring to the difficulties teams have stealing against Guthrie because he is so quick to the plate. There have been only 4 attempts on him all year, and he's been on the mound for 80 innings.
And a lot of it has to do with him, and the other part of the equation is behind home plate. Readers throws about as well as anybody.
2-1 is ripped to right field. Markakis in on it. It hangs, and he's got it for the out. So Zobrist actually hit it too hard, and that enabled Markakis to get there for the out. And 1 away in the first. Well, Matt Joyce back in the lineup tonight. Last series against the Orioles, couple of home runs and 3 RBIs, and he is leading Tampa Bay with 10 home runs. He did not play last night. He's had a bit of a sore shoulder, got an injection, but he's back in there tonight.
Yeah, got it. Actually stayed on Thursday, an off day. The Rays played Wednesday night, got in here in Baltimore at 8:30 in the morning. Actually got to the hotel a little after 9. He stayed, had the injection, thought he would be able to play last night. And it's the left shoulder.
Pulled foul.
But quite a surprise. It's kind of interesting, Jim. Early on in the year, I was asking Joe Madden, I said, you trade Edwin Jackson to the Tigers to get Matt Joyce, and then it takes him 3 years to actually be an everyday player. He said, well, you got to learn the other facets of the game. The base running, the defense, all the things that Joe Madden considers important, and most baseball people do, not just hitting.
Just a foul back out of play, and it's 0-2 as that one ran in on him.
So here, this is the ideal count. We saw Zobrist, Jeremy got a little bit lucky. He got behind him. He hit a rocket into right field. Damon got lucky because he got 2 strikes. So again, Just try to make your pitch, stay out of the middle of the plate, and when the 0-2 account allows you at least to attempt that. You don't need to throw a strike here.
Ahead of Joyce, 0-2. And he got him. So Joyce, foul tip held by Wieters as Joyce goes after the 0-2 pitch, and Guthrie picks up his first K.
Well, Jim, this is opening day stuff. He was thrown as high as 96 down in Tampa on the 1st of April. And he would beat David Price and the Rays 4-1. Only the Zobrist home run off Jim Johnson in the 9th inning. And he had that kind of velocity. Did not have it against Toronto. And they made him pay for it.
Evan Longoria in the cleanup spot, batting with Damon at first and 2 down now. Right center field, a long run for Adam Jones, reaches up, and it's over his head and against the wall. Heading to third and rounding third is Damon. He will score, and Evan Longoria with a 2-out double. So the 2-out runs again hurting Jeremy Guthrie, and Tampa takes a 1-0 lead.
Well, again, Longoria, the oblique, the fever that kept him from playing. Now take a look. There's the target. I mean, this ball right down the middle. It looks like Adam's going to get to it, but he can't. This is the type of year, you know, when we're reaching 90, 100 degrees, the ball carries. And again, that's a long run for Damon, but he's going to score easily when it gets over Adam Jones's head.
So Longoria at second after his 14th RBI, and there's a strike taken by Casey Kochman. And Longoria didn't waste any time going after the first pitch.
Well, he's probably looking fastball. Anytime a guy throws 95, you're going to sit on the fastball. If he hangs the slider like he did to Escobar, you'll be ready for that. But he got a hittable fastball and didn't miss it.
Touches the outside corner. 0-2 on Kochman, who is just 4 for his last 23. There are 6 left-handed bats in the lineup tonight against Guthrie, including the switch-hitting Zobrist. Just off the plate, he hit the glove, but Wieters set up outside. 1-2 the count on Kochman. Longoria at second base. His 2-out double has given Tampa the lead, so David Price will take the mound ahead in this game. And again off the plate outside, 2-2.
And I cannot tell you, I went through, I guess, 1974, ended up being 7-12, 3.20 ERA, low ERA at the time. When I pitched well, I didn't win. When I pitched poorly, I didn't win. When I pitched okay, I didn't win. Not a lot of run support. Every pitch means so much because you're just not getting the results you want.
High fly ball to left. Reimold's there towards the line a bit. He'll put it away and the inning ends, but a big 2-out base hit by Longoria. Tampa gets the lead. 1-0 Rays heading to the bottom of the first. 2 hits in the top of the first. Here come the Orioles for their first at-bat, bottom of the first. Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Birds. J.J. Hardy with Nick Markakis in the number 2 spot. Nick has pretty good numbers against the left-hander David Price, 6 for 17 in his career. Adam Jones, Vladimir Guerrero with Matt Wieters catching. Nolan Reimold in left field tonight. Mark Reynolds, Robert Andino, and Brandon Snyder getting a start at first base.
Take a look at our FCS scouting report. Well, the Price is right in so many respects. Power pitcher, all kinds of pitches. Former a number 1 guy picked, gave him $8.5 million. Well, the Price is right. Doesn't matter what he got. Left out. If you're lefty, you're not going to probably be playing. And then, he came to the big leagues in about 2.5 months, and then the next year became a starter. And Jim Hickey, who's done a terrific job as their pitching coach. It's not Hank Haney, the golf pro, trying to teach Charles Barkley, but they changed his windup, so he is much smoother. Walks have come down, strikeouts have gone up. He had about 4 or 5 bad games this year, more so than last year when he was 19-6.
Facing J.J. Hardy, who again will occupy that leadoff spot.
Tremendous pressure on him. He's led off twice and hit home runs twice.
And he looks it over outside, 2-1.
Now take a look right now. Ball 1 and then a strike from Jeremy Hellickson. And the Orioles have a 1-0 lead. What a night he had last night, offensively, defensively.
Good hack there, fouls it straight back, 2-2.
You're going to see the radar gun at now, 92, 93. It will probably go up as the night progresses. At least in games that I've seen David Price pitch. Threw a lot of changeup in his last start against the Angels. Beat them 5-1 out in Anaheim.
Strike 3 called. What a pitch on the inner part of the plate at the knees.
I was talking to Bobby Ramos, their bullpen coach last night. He was a bench coach. Dave Martinez, the graduation of his son. He said this guy can think. He can pitch to both sides of the plate. He's got a great breaking ball, good changeup, and you can't read it. He's a complete package.
Pitch Track sponsored by Papa John's. Order online at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. And here is Nick Markakis against Price with 1 out and none on. Nick is the only left-handed batter in the lineup for the Birds.
Yep, well, he had a tremendous night last night. 88 at bats without an extra base hit. Gets a hanging curveball. Really one of the only bad pitches that Hellickson made. But it cost him 4 runs on 1 swing. And even better, it gave the Orioles and Jake Arrieta a 5-0 lead. And Nick, in his humble way, said it was good for me, but even better for the club. Yep. Was it ever?
Takes that pitch, 2-1 the count. Well, Nick's got a 2-game hitting streak working now, 3 for his last 8. And finally broke the long extra base hit drought. And as he looks at ball 3, he had gone from May 15th to June the 10th in between extra base hits. And coincidentally, it was against Tampa Bay in Tampa on the 15th. He did it in the reverse order. He doubled, then homered. Last night he homered, then doubled. There's a bouncer towards the hole. There's a base hit. He's hitting 3 in a row.
Well, he had a lot to do. A sacrifice fly and an RBI on opening day when they beat the Rays down in Tampa. So there's your defense, and it's a good one, tied with the Red Sox and a number of teams for the best defense. Ruggiano in left, Upton and Joyce, Longoria, Gold Glover, Brignac, Zobres, Kochman. Again, I don't think he's ever won a Gold Glove, but he's got one of the highest fielding percentages in the history of the game. And then John Jaso doing the catching tonight.
Adam Jones now with the man on. Adam with that batting average at exactly 300. He is tied for the team lead in RBIs with those 32. He and Mark Reynolds sharing the RBI lead. And he fouls it off to the right. Well, here's the Orioles, Jim, over the last 5 games, opportunistic base hits.
Well, it is. And again, when you pitch as well as they have with a 1-point ERA, again, you can relax. Last night, all the runs coming with, or at least 6 of the 7 coming with 2 outs. And, you got Reynolds hitting a 2-run home run because of good pitching on Tuesday night, or actually Wednesday night.
High fly ball, left center field. Back goes Upton, still going back. It is caught. A basket catch by Upton right against the wall. Adam Jones nearly hit it out, but Upton stayed with it, and he had it all the way. 2 men down.
Well, pretty much the deepest part of this ballpark. It goes out to 410. He plays extremely shallow. Again, you can do this if you could go back. And this is very much like the catch that Adam Jones, you can see David Price getting all excited about it. I don't blame him. But it's the kind of catch that Adam Jones did in the Oriole victory up in Seattle. But again, it looked like it might have got out of here. Just hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark.
2 down. Markakis still at first. Here's Guerrero. And he looks it over inside. 1-0.
So you've seen the velocity has gone up already. We have seen him hit as high as 98 in the All-Star game last year. He was right around 100.
There's a bouncer towards the middle. Fielded by the shortstop Brignac, who will flip to Zobrist for the force on Markakis. That ends the inning. So a base hit, a man left. We'll enter the second. 1-0 Rays. The game is Teresa Brown of Westminster. For every double play the Orioles turn during tonight's game, Teresa wins $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. See how you can turn double plays into cash and enter to win for a chance at amazing Orioles prizes. Go to mdlottery.com/double play.
Yeah, Karen Cahill, I won $2,000 last night.
There's a bouncer off the bat of Upton. Ooh, tough hop for J.J. Hardy. That hit the lip of the grass, but Hardy stayed with it. What hands he has at shortstop. And one away. Well, we broke down Jeremy Guthrie's season, Jim, and here are the breakdown. In his 2 wins, he hasn't allowed an earned run, so you're going to win if you pitch that well. In his 2 no decisions, very good ERA, 2.77. But tell us the story within the story in those 8 losses. 5.12 ERA.
Well, there's like 3 or 4 games where he just pitched so poorly that inflates that earned run average. There you go. And then again, they don't score any runs for him. And I mean, we have even worse numbers like that if you want to really get depressed as far as run support for him.
Yeah, sometimes in the no decisions, it doesn't really tell the story because there are games where a starter might not pitch well, and then his team gets him off the hook for a loss.
Well, but see, Jeremy, very rarely does he not get into the 6th inning. And I know he's done it. This is his 13th time. He's done it, 1, 2, 3 times. So he gives himself a chance for them to score runs, but they don't do it. And, again, this is not a prolific scoring team anyway. When you look at some of the teams they're trying to compete with. Because if you look at the American League East, it's the Yankees. It's the Yankees, Red Sox, and Toronto, not in that order, are the highest scoring teams. Just as they were last year, with Texas right up there.
2 pitches fouled off the bat of John Jaso, batting with 1 out, none on.
But again, when you look at the fact he's lost 22 games, and went 10-14 last year, they scored 29 runs in those 22 losses. That's 1.3 runs a game. So it puts tremendous pressure on you. Not only does it physically, but how about the emotional part of it?
2-2 is just outside, so from ahead in the count goes full 3-2.
And then what exacerbates it, he's a fly ball pitcher in a ground ball ballpark here. There's a lot more fly balls than ground balls, and pulls that one, missed by what, foot and a half, and again just overthrew it. And it's hard to relax when things aren't going your well, and that's why one of the keys to the game, head games. I mean, this is a smart guy. Went to Stanford. But it's very difficult sometimes, again, I said this earlier, when you're not getting the results, and I mean winning. Because a lot of people, you look past what the ERA, what the run support is and that, and you look at the 2-8 record and you go, this guy's having a horrible year. That is not the case.
Go to first, chases Jaso back. Here's Justin Ruggiano, who is playing in left field tonight.
Yeah, it looks to me a pretty good fastball hitter. Already a couple of home runs in 24 at bats. Got a couple hits last night, one legitimate, one on a high hopper.
Fouls it off. Well, Ruggiano up from AAA, and he has been eating up right-handed batting. Last night he had a couple of base hits, his third multi-hit game in the last 4. And even though he's a righty facing Jeremy Guthrie, he's batting .389 against those right-handed pitchers. So what the heck? Let's see what you can do. Joe Madden starting him tonight instead of Sam Fuld, who was on the bench. There's a left-handed batter. And that one's outside, 1-1.
Yeah, righties, they hit, about 26 points lower, 248 to 274 by lefties, but the home runs are even. So Joe's saying, hell, why not bring a hot hitter in? He did let a ball get over his head last night that allowed a couple of runs to score late in the ball game.
Sharply hit towards the hole. There's a base hit in the left field as Reimold will play it back in. Jaso stops at second. Ruggiano on at first. And Tampa Bay, after 1 out, none on, and 1-2 on Jaso, now Virali going.
I'm going to take a look. It looks like just something up in the middle of the plate and not hit particularly hard. But again, you could see inside middle, and Hardy shifted up the middle, anticipating maybe something a little bit more up the middle to right field. Couldn't get it. The good news is it's the left field, so with 1 out, you don't get a runner at third base with less than 2 outs.
Reed Brignac, the shortstop, number 9 batter. And he looks at it low, 1-0. So Guthrie's walked 1 in the inning. He's averaging just 1.6 walks for every 9 innings he pitches.
And Brignac with pretty good numbers, 6 for 19 with a home run, because he's been struggling, even though he did have his first home run of the year on Wednesday night, 3 for 3 on Monday night. But the Rays playing out of the West Coast, where they swept the Angels, first time ever. But again, you're pitching against Price. You don't get a lot of runs. You know that. They can say you want to think all the positive thoughts. He just knows he can't give up a whole lot more.
There's that fair foul. Nope, it's foul. Tim Welke at the plate. Waited till it got to first base. Brandon Snyder fielded it there. He's going to look at that defense for tonight with Snyder in the lineup.
Well, Reimold, Jones, Markakis, pretty normal outfield for the Orioles. PA out and left last night. Reynolds, Hardy, Andino, and then Brandon Snyder. Derek Lee, bereavement leave, and then Matt Wieters doing the catching for the Orioles.
So Brandon up at least for the weekend.
Those are the numbers. Reed Brignac.
Derek Lee's grandfather's funeral was today, and he is eligible to return tomorrow, but he's on the West Coast, and it's more likely that he'll return in time for the road trip, which begins Tuesday in Toronto.
So again, good numbers for Brignac, but this year only 4 for 30 with runners in scoring position. It's a guy you need to get out.
A little late on the swing, and he fouls it off.
And you need to read the bat. Now, it doesn't mean you can't throw him a breaking ball, but if you throw him a breaking ball for a strike, it's going to speed up the bat. And that's something that when you get your innings and you have your experience, and Jeremy has that, that's something that you have to be able to factor in.
Another 1-2 pitch to Brignac, off speed outside, 2-2. Brignac just 4 for 22 on Tampa's road trip. When they finish here, they have to go to Detroit to play a 1-game makeup. So they lose a day off at home for a makeup. High fly left. Reimold's got a beat on it. Backs up a bit, and he's got it for the out 2 down. The runners halfway are back to their respective bases. Now Johnny Damon coming up. He got a base hit his first at bat as he continues to creep up the list. He is 5th in base hits among active players. First Derek Jeter on the verge of 3,000. Then Pudge Rodriguez, Omar Vizquel still going strong at age 44. Alex Rodriguez, and then Johnny Damon. So Damon now 363 hits shy of 3,000.
And then what, 56? Along with Sam Rice with doubles, 497, closing in on 500. He's always had good numbers against the Orioles over the course of his career. 31 lifetime home runs, 20 of them here in this ballpark.
Guthrie gets behind 1-0, and the breaking ball stays outside, ball 2. Of course, Johnny Damon has always been a very patient hitter. He'll wait you out, waiting for a pitch to drive.
And he surprises you. It looks like he hits it with one hand. That backhand, that left hand will come off the bat. It'll almost look like he got fooled and the ball will get out of here.
There's a strike.
It's a big strike zone. Tim Welke's always had that. And right there's a change up off the outside corner that Damon took because he thought it was away. Probably was. There are the numbers we talked about, glowing numbers in this ballpark.
Late on that swing, 2-2.
Yeah, you move that ball over about 3 or 4 inches and all of a sudden it's a much more authoritative swing. And again, this is not about stuff because he's 94, 95. It's just about, can you stay out of the middle of the plate?
2 on, 2 out. The 2-2 is lying down the left field line and foul.
See, if Jeremy was comfortable pitching in to lefties, which he's not, when you read that ball's about, what, 2-3 inches off the outside corner because Damon didn't want to take strike 3 with the wide strike zone. You'd just strike him out up and in. But again, when you throw home runs, there's a tendency you don't want to come in because that's where you can really get hurt unless you know you can do that.
There's a bouncer towards second base, backhanded by Andino. He'll throw to first, and he gets the hustling Damon for the final out. So Walker hitting 2 men left, mid-first at Oriole Park. Tampa Bay with a 1-0 lead. Brought to you by Luna. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Well, the Orioles last night had 4 doubles, 60 doubles at home on the season. And kind of an interesting homestand in this 4-game winning streak. It all began on Monday night. They had 9 hits in that game. They were all singles. Then last night they won a game with 6 extra base hits. So trying to get it done either way.
And the big one, of course, the grand slam. And then Hardy's leadoff home run didn't hurt. It was 5 quick runs.
Wieters will lead off. Reimold and Reynolds will follow. Matt at 265 on the year. He's hit right or left-handed pitching very well on the year. Batting from the right side. And take strike one. Wieters at .302 against left-handed pitching on the year. Of course, the Orioles as a team have struggled to win games against left-handers, and this is an elite left-hander. This isn't just your left-handed and can breathe, throw him out there. He's an elite pitcher in the game, and he gets ahead of Wieters 0-2.
And that's a pitch that we didn't see his first year when he came to the big leagues. That curveball, always had it, didn't throw it a lot. That's a year he went 10-7. In 23 starts, ERA over 4 runs a game.
Wieters 0-2, sends it a long way to right. Matt Joyce is back, and that's off the scoreboard. Wieters will try for 2. Here's the throw. It is not in time. And Matt Wieters on an 0-2 pitch got one out over the plate, and he hits it off the scoreboard for a double.
Yeah, they try to go away, and Price is going to get a ball up in the zone. And he just slices it. Anybody that's seen Matt Wieters, Andrew Freeman, their general manager, still talking about the home run. He hit about .430 to right center down in Tampa. So right here, not a lot of foot speed, so play in front of you. And Joyce throw just off a little bit.
And you saw that good swing, brought to you by Jeep Exmo, the 2011 Jeep Compass. And Nolan Reimold now with a chance to get this game even, or at worst, get Wieters to third, and he takes a strike.
Well, that is what he needs to do. We saw him on the West Coast. He didn't even make an effort in Oakland, and they got swept. So you've got to situationally hit to earn your runs against David Price. I think ideally it's nice to talk about, I'm just going to get a pitch to hit out of here. He's only thrown, 7 home runs all year. This is situational hitting. Hit the ball to the right side until you get the 2 strikes. And make Buck Showalter think that that's what you're trying to do on the bench.
Ball and a strike on Reimold. Good eye. I tell you what, he has probably the best batting eye on the team in looking over pitches. It's amazing the close pitches that he takes that he gets the call.
Well, until you get the 2 strikes, I think that Nolan Reimold has a pretty good idea of what he wants to hit. And you have that luxury. Not a lot of hitters, the good hitters, that they exercise. Because they don't call you out on strike 1 or 2.
And Hideaway, ball 3. So David Price, who, like Jeremy Guthrie, rarely walks a batter, averaging 1.4 per game. Just anemic numbers, 14 walks all year. And he's behind Reimold 3-1.
Well, he ought to get a fastball to hit here. And he still should try to hit it into right field. Stay inside the ball.
And he tried to go that way, and he fouls it off.
And you could see again velocity back to where he can get comfortably 95.
Reimold 2 out of 6 with runners in scoring position. Wieters a leadoff double at second, representing the tying run. We're in the second. Orioles are 6-4 against Tampa Bay on the year. And the 3-2 is high, ball 4, and Reimold has worked a walk. The Orioles get 2 on with none out here in the second inning. Well, big day here tomorrow. First 20,000 fans, 15 and over at the finale against the Rays. That game at 1:35, receive an orange O's cap presented by DAP. Don't miss this annual fan favorite. Plus, your chance to spend a summer afternoon with family and friends here at Camden Yards. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD, or just go online at Orioles.com. I got a look at that hat last night, and the fans are going to love it.
No, it's a
fabulous,
very attractive hat.
So here's Mark Reynolds. Tampa Bay will play back, not expecting Reynolds to bunt, and he takes high 1-0.
And you can see maybe, and he doesn't do this very often, overthrowing a little bit here. Of course, Reynolds prone to strike out. This is where Earl Weaver would say, hey, get a hit, pop up, but don't hit a double play ball. 63 strikeouts and 200 at bats.
And he looks over a strike 1-1. Reynolds is slowly coming around and getting more consistent at the plate. He's got a 3-game hitting streak going, but he's batting .286 on the homestand. And even though that batting average is sitting at 200, he leads the club in home runs with 10, and he's tied with Jones in RBIs with 32. Late on a swing, and it's 1-2. Now the Orioles continue to lead the American League. Batting average with runners in scoring position at .283. Indians right behind them in Kansas City, Texas, and Chicago. So the Orioles out of the AL East, the only team represented there in the top 5.
I go back to a couple of years ago. The Orioles were second to the Twins at .284 for the season. And then last year, going into August, they were around .217. Really struggled early.
And Reynolds down on strikes.
Oh, there's 97. I mean, this is what a #1 guy could do. He gets in trouble. Weeder slices one off the wall. He walks him, and then the low gas at 97, a little bit extra. Right behind him, George Hendricks, their first base coach. He saw guys that could do that. He played on some teams that had guys that could do that. And that's why this guy is so special. There's George.
Well, Price averages over 8 Ks per 9 innings. He's got 2 already. Here's Robert Andino. So the strikeout not only gets Price out, the runners don't advance. And Robert Price, Andino fouls it back. Now last night, 2 out of 4. His first 2 double game in his career. He's got 11 multi-hit games now off the 2 base hits last night. Robert has batted very well against left-handed pitching on the year. .362 clip. There's a bouncer towards the right side. Fielded there by Zobrist. Stumbles, but he gets it to first, and there's an out. The runners now advance, but there's 2 down.
Well, again, Price makes a great pitch. Hard slider down and in. You can't do much with it. You can't get the barrel of the bat to it. I mean, it just goes down, and he slices it. Almost gets it into right field, but Zobrist, tall and rangy. Not an easy play. But you do get both of your runners moved up into scoring position.
So it was 2 on with none out. Now it's second and third with 2 down. And here's Brandon Snyder. He was active last night, playing tonight against Price. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Brandon was the move for Derek Lee going on the bereavement list.
Well, they hope he does what he did last year at AAA Norfolk. He hit over 350 and 5 home runs, bunch of RBIs against left-handed pitching, but David Price wasn't pitching in AAA, unfortunately.
Line drive towards right center field, up and over, and he'll put it away. So David Price works out of it, 2 on and none down, and the Orioles can't score. We'll head to the third, 1-0 Rays. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. Nice overhead view of the Inner Harbor on this Saturday evening.
Steamy.
Very steamy. 75% humidity at first pitch. Good hitter's weather.
So when it's raining, as it did last night, at what, an hour and 8, is the humidity 100%?
I would think.
Yeah. Even though it seemed much cooler and less humid.
Today or yesterday?
Yesterday. Even
See,
during
I had the opposite effect. after the rain, I thought it got muggy.
Really? Well, you were out with the people.
Yeah, well, with Dempsey's people. I don't have people. One and on Zobrist. See, I was expecting you always have a follow-up.
Well, no, I was thinking it must be the ties. It must be the Rick Dempsey ties or something. He has a tie with people or something.
Zobrist lined out hard his first at-bat. Here's the 2-0. Pop foul, third base side. Reynolds will watch it go back in the crowd.
Next thing you know, he's going to open up a home furnishing store. He's got to delve.
He's into everything.
Yeah.
Zobrist, Joyce, Longoria for Tampa Bay in the third. Zobrist, tremendous trade that Tampa Bay made. They got him from the Astros for Aubrey Huff. 2-1 bounce to second base, waiting on an Andino. Gets a nice friendly hop. And one away. Well, one of the things that the Orioles are trying to do is put together a pitching staff to compete within this division. Here are the career records of the pitchers, the three youngsters in Guthrie against the AL East. Guthrie just 12-32 within the division, a .273 winning percentage. But how about Jake Arrieta now, 6-1? Mattis 7-6, and even Zach Britton 4 starts in his young career against the AL East, and he's 2-2.
Man, on a teams that have traditionally played under 500 baseball, even though that could change tonight. They could get to 500 if they win. Talking about the O's.
Fly ball to left field off the bat of Joyce. Chases Reimel back near the warning track and then crosses onto the warning track. And 2 away.
So here we go. Look at there. David Price. He's won 82%. Now, in fairness to him, he played on a team that's won 2 of the last 3 division. Lester, of course, plays for the Red Sox. Terrific pitcher. Cecil, Toronto over 500 last year. Burnett. That's why the Yankees signed him, even though he's breaking their heart on occasion. And then CC Sabathia, who struggled against the Yankees, but they signed him anyway because they figured he's not going to be pitching against them.
Right.
He couldn't beat the Yankees when he was with Cleveland.
Well, David Price already has 36 major league wins. Longoria bounces it to third. That's foul. 1-1. Longoria responsible for the game's only run, a 2-out RBI double in the first.
Really the only bad pitch that Jeremy Guthrie's made all night long, and that was just a fastball in the middle of the plate. Damon had reached on a little looper into center field that Adam Jones couldn't catch. You trust your stuff. I never second guess location. I threw enough pitches to know that they're not always going to go where they want. But pitch selection, you can sometimes wonder what were they thinking. I'm sure people thought that one threw some pitches. Like the changeup to Justin Smoke. He pitched so well up in Seattle and then got beat on his third best pitch. 3-run home run, even though the runs were unearned. But again, maybe a fastball down and away might have gotten them out.
And then there's a 2-out walk. And Tampa Bay has had at least a base runner in each of the first 3 innings. Second walk allowed by Guthrie.
And I think, Jim, you talked about his ability, the second best right behind Price as far as the fewest walks. That's a pitch around. You're not getting any runs. You just saw what Price did when he got in trouble. You don't want to give him to Longoria. And I don't care if he's slumping. He's their best hitter. He's their power guy. And the numbers are obviously good for Casey Kochman, but make your pitches. Not a home run guy unless you make a mistake.
And a strike in the outside corner. Kochman is in the number 5 spot in Joe Maddon's lineup. He flied out his first at bat. Longoria has a modest lead off first. There's a bouncer towards the middle. Andino over, gloves, and he flips to Hardy for the out. Nicely done as he played that big hop and he got the force. So 2-out walk and a man left mid-third on a hot night. 1-0 Rays. Well, how about left-handed pitcher Cole McCurry now at Bowie? He is 4-0 with a 0.78 ERA combined. He began at Frederick, but now working out of the bullpen for the Bay Sox. Just 18 hits in 34 2/3 innings and 14 walks to 45 strikeouts. Jim Palmer will like that ratio, and the opponent's batting just 151. So Cole McCurry may be a left-handed relief option down the road.
Exactly. Starting pitcher the last, 3, 4, 5 years. He really hadn't moved up, but more than a strikeout per inning just about every year. And only 25 years old. I'm always looking for the Phil Koch type of guys. You know, they can start, but then you can bring them to the big leagues, get your breaking ball over, get out left-handers.
J.J. Hardy fouls it back. He's behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Markakis and Jones to follow against Price, who has 2 strikeouts and 1 walk through 2 scoreless innings. And the fastball sails outside. Hardy's got a 4-game hitting streak going. And he's hit 4 home runs in the last 9 games. Now holding 1-2. David Price, the #1 overall pick in the 2007 draft, and he made his major league debut the following September 14th of 2008.
Well, out of Vanderbilt, so he was a college guy. Got $8.5 million over the course of 5 years. I think over $5 million signing bonus. Are you listening, Dylan Bundy? You can get to the big leagues very quickly if you have the kind of talent level that David Price does. Got it done in a hurry and pitching in the World Series at the end of the year.
Hanging breaking ball. He fouled it down the line, and Hardy breaks his bat. Now, Buck Showalter before tonight's game was asked about the dominance of David Price.
He's special, and he wasn't. And that's why he wasn't drafted in the 40th round. He wasn't a draft and follow. He was a draft and sign and pitch here. 2-3 months later? I don't know what it was. It was a pretty good bullpen option in the playoffs. Somehow worked his way into the rotation.
To the top of the rotation. It's down and away, and it's 2-2. Of course, in that 2007 draft, Tampa Bay had the #1 overall pick. The Orioles had the #5 pick, and they selected Matt Wieters.
That was down in Orlando. It's kind of sitting in when pretty good decision. But obviously, I think, and Buck Showalter was talking about it, that when you need to compete in the American League East against the Sabathias and the Becketts and the Lesters, you better have yourself a #1 guy, and that's what Tampa Bay got in David Price. He can compete with anybody.
Hardy towards right center field. They got a lot of it. On the run is Joyce, and he reaches up and makes the catch. Nicely done by Matt Joyce as he turned and ran, then located the ball and got there just as the ball did. 1 away.
Yeah, he hurt his shoulder, not his legs, and this is part of the equation. If you're going to play in the big leagues, help your pitchers. That's what you got to do. Get good jumps on the ball. David Price again now. Upton with a great catch, and now Joyce taking away extra base hits. Big difference in a 1-0 game. Nice at bat by J.J. Hardy, driving the ball the other way.
Nick Markakis singled his first at bat. Batting with 1 out and none on. And time requested by Markakis. Nick has not homered this year against left-handed pitching. He's got 5 home runs on the year now following last night's grand slam. And David Price has allowed only 1 home run to a left-handed batter, that being Curtis Granderson of the Yankees, who has been hitting them out against everybody.
Well, he's got he hit his 19th last night.
And he hit one again today.
Oh, yeah. Well,
the Yankees had a day game and beat Cleveland 4-0 as he hit number 20.
You know, they're trying to keep up with the Red Sox. He won 16-4.
Boston got home runs today by Ortiz and Verita.
I hope they don't get the Jays too upset by pounding them this weekend. The Orioles will be in there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And Markakis takes outside. Yeah, that Granderson home run against Price was a 3-run shot on May 16th. That's the only lefty to take him deep this year. Markakis off the end of the bat to left field, and on it is Ruggiano, and he's got it for the out. 2 down in the Oriole third. Well, make your plans now to enjoy the season's first fireworks night. Comes up Friday, June 24th, after the Orioles take on the Cincinnati Reds at 7:05. Gather up your family and friends. Celebrate a Birdland summer tradition. For your tickets, 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. And Interleague Baseball, as the Cincinnati Reds with Dusty Baker will be here at Camden Yards. They have some good young players on that team.
Well, how about last year's MVP, Joey Votto? Jay Bruce off to a great start.
Adam Jones now.
Pull it. And he hit it like he did the first time. Try to pull it. Of course, it's hard to do sometimes. His Price, Sabathia, if we want to contrast him to CC Sabathia, who has great success against the Orioles, he gets in on you with his slider. Price will do it with his fastball. And he'll start it out away. There's strike one. And then he's got a change up. He used that against the Angels. Hadn't really thrown too many tonight. When he did, they were out of the zone. A couple of curveballs every once in a while. But you get your pitches to hit. They just have a lot of movement. And again, he's 6'6". It's a very easy windup. And one of the scouting reports, the Hickey project, he really cleaned up his windup. Saw him in a simulated game the day before last season, and I said, boy, this is a whole nother windup. And he went 19-6 last year. Could have won a Cy Young.
Bouncer towards second base. Zobrist charges, and he'll get Jones. And for the first time tonight, the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down. We played 3 at Oriole Park. Guthrie and the Birds trailing 1-0. Club night here at Camden Yards. This year, members receive tickets to 10 specially selected games, including tonight. They get a club hat, a membership card, subscription to Orioles Kids Magazine, and a lunchbox. And it's all just $20. Plus, your family and friends can get a ticket to each game starting as low as $6. And you also get the chance to upgrade to lower level seats. So get involved. The Junior Orioles Dugout Club. The kids will have a blast hanging out with other kids. And, oh, what a play by Reynolds as he gets up and fires across to get Upton. Playing it tight to take away the bunt. And that ball was hit hard, and he was able to get it before it got by him for 2.
Yeah, he does what Upton did to Adam Jones, robs him. Ball hit sharply. He doesn't bunt very much, but he's playing in. Backhand, tough play, right in the web. And then a strong, accurate arm. And so easily, if it's by him, it's a double. If he catches it, nice pitch, Jeremy.
Ball 1 to John Jaso. Guthrie still looking for his first 3 up, 3 down inning. He has allowed 3 hits. He has walked 2.
Pitch count now at 56. So, maybe a couple of weeks ago you want to get in the Oriole bullpen, but they've been terrific along with the starters. Jeremy just wants to have an easy inning to maybe.
Pass Guthrie, got the glove down, just not in time. So a hard single to center field for Jaso. And a 1-out base runner.
A lot of times, again, you end up about 54 feet, but it's a hanging changeup. Usually anticipate the ball being hit pretty sharply, but Jeremy, very agile, just couldn't get the glove down, even though the changeup hung right in the middle of the plate. There's a perfect example. Ball one, strike one. He's waiting and gets himself a base hit. You reverse the count, a little bit different.
Justin Ruggiano, he singled his first at bat. Swings at the first pitch and pops it foul near the Oriole dugout. Snyder and Wieters. Snyder calls, and Brandon puts it away for the out. 2 down. Well, fans, don't forget to text Orioles to 29292 and get Masson alerts right in the palm of your hand. Message and data rates may apply. So Brandon Snyder, playing in place of Derek Lee, who's on the bereavement list, makes a play. And on this draft week, Brandon Snyder in the game tonight in the big leagues. He was Joe Jordan's first round pick when he took over as the Orioles scouting director for 2005.
As a catcher. I remember him coming up in the booth, and then the shoulder surgery.
And a strike taken by Brignac. Brignac flied out to left field his first at bat. And fouled the other way, and it's 0-2.
Another good pitch. Yet has yet to throw a ball into a left-hander. So again, you can get away with it. This is what he did, and his stuff was so good the first game of the season down in Tampa. And again, they got 4 runs off David Price, some clutch hits. We can talk about that. But again, if you get behind him, they're looking away. Now with 2 strikes, of course, Brignac just going to try to scuffle, and he gets him.
Strike 3 called in the outside corner, so the inning ends. A base hit and a man left. We're in the middle of the 4th, and a 1-0 Rays lead. Sponsored by Hankook Tires. Be one with it, Hankook Tires. Well, the game flow of this game is the starting pitchers are settling in. David Price is not allowed a run. He's allowed 2 base hits. Jeremy Guthrie has allowed just 1 run. Tampa Bay has had base runners every inning, but they have stranded 5. And David Price got out of the 1 jam that the Orioles started when they had first and second, none down in the second and could not score. So the Orioles now second time through the lineup against Price. Will send Guerrero, Wieters, and Reimold up in the 4th inning. Tampa Bay starters as a staff, they have 25 wins, and their staff ERA, the starters, is 3.84.
Well, they're good. And Wade Davis is he'll pitch tomorrow.
That one rolling up the first base side. Stay foul, says Vladdy, and it does. They're going to let it roll just in case. And a roll foul, maybe a little assist there from Nicole.
Yes.
Nicely done, Nicole. As Vladimir did not mean the swing, and the ball hit the bat.
Well, the old ballparks, it seemed like, again, they didn't have the prescription athletic turf, the ability to pump water, irrigate from underneath the field, and it seemed like they sloped more. Nowadays, you can do pretty much what you want, and sometimes that grass will be a little bit farther away from the line on some ballparks.
And then if you have aging infielders, they'll tend to make the ground a little wet, so the ball will slow down.
It was like a quagmire in front of home plate in Chicago with all those sinker ballers they had. I mean, going way back to Gary Peters and Tommy John and Joel Horland.
One Oriole told me that the infield at Yankee Stadium is so wet it's like it's a marshland because Jeter's lost a step or two. And they're trying to help out the future Hall of Famer.
Yep. Well, Mickey Tettleton came in here after he got traded to the Tigers, and he said the grass here at Camden Yards made Detroit, who had the highest grass in the league, look like AstroTurf. And it was so high here.
Breaking ball and tried to time it and fouled it off.
Well, again, it's hard to time it, especially when you get the 2 strikes, because you got to respect 97. Well, here you go. That's that curve ball, and able to nick it away. And then up and away. The ability to, well, first of all, to have great stuff, and then you talked about the 14 walks coming into the game, and then good movement, great velocity, 4 pitches that he can throw over at any time.
2-2 called, strike 3 on the inside corner at the knees. Well, Brignac wasn't thrilled with the call to end the 4th, and Vladimir not thrilled with the call to begin the bottom of the 4th.
So take a look right here. It's a very, very big strike zone tonight. There's a changeup, and it just rolls foul. There's 1-1. Fastball away. Fastball out of the zone. Curveball, able to keep it. Fastball away, and then probably a little bit off the inside corner. But again, ample strike zone tonight. He takes advantage of it, as Guthrie did.
And Matt Wieters takes a strike. Our pitch track, sponsored by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world.
And you know they're yelling on the dugout going, Welke, he doesn't need any help. He probably doesn't.
Wieters fouled up the third base side. He's down 0-2. Tim Welke is one of the most respected umpires in baseball. He's been around 27 years, Jim. He made his debut back in 1984. You maybe even pitched.
Well, only if he was there.
Maybe for vacation relief. Joe Madden looking on. Well, Madden didn't like the call that got Brignac, but he loved the call that got Guerrero. So did David Price.
No, Brignac, Reed's really been struggling, so he needs all the help he can get. But again, you have 2 guys tonight that can dot the I's and cross the T's when it comes to control. 2 of the best in the American League. And the hitters, they know it's very difficult. You try to pride yourself in discerning what's a strike and what's a ball, and then every umpire has a different zone.
Defensive swing, and he just did get a piece.
A lot of people, apparently they had a meeting in spring training, and they said there's going to be that buffer zone about 1 inch off the plate, 1.5 inches. And a lot of hitting instructors, Jim Presley would say, I'm a little concerned. And the pitching coaches are, they got the pom-poms out and hiring the cheerleaders because they might have something to do. Guys with a lot of ability, but also I think it's a little bit wider strike zone, both up and down, and especially off the plate. Makes it harder to hit.
Another 0-2 pitch to Wieters. Breaking ball down and in.
Boy, he threw him a fastball up and away and hit it off the scoreboard for a double, so he's trying to stay out of that zone.
And that one low, 2-2. You ever look at the strike zone that's in the rule book? You ever see that called anymore?
What, from the top of the knees to the letter?
The little diagram. That doesn't exist. Buck Showalter and Joe Madden just want somebody to be consistent. There's a roll at a shortstop. Brignac waits on it. And he'll get Wieters for the second out. So Wieters 1 out of 2.
Well, tonight for the Rays is, okay, Brignac, Reed, you didn't get a hit. Can you field your position? And we've already seen Joyce make a nice play. Upton make a nice play. So, again, a 1-0 ball game. And I always felt that, can you get the first guy out? Can you stay away from the long ball? Both of them have done that.
Nolan Reimold now. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Nolan walked with Wieters at second in the second inning, and since then, Price has retired 8 in a row.
There's another one. Inside corner. Again, staying out of the middle of the plate. Yeah, he used to have a little hesitation with that right foot, that leg. It kind of, and that's what they smoothed out. And I saw him in a simulated game. I said, boy, this guy's completely different windup. And that's what you hope with the young pitchers. You know, whether it's Mattis or Britton, or especially Arrieta, who can, you know, still again. And you can look at David Price, and every year his pitch count has come down. And look at that. At the end, he's got that 96, 97 to reach for.
Count is even 2-2 on Reimold, who drew the walk, the only walk allowed by Price so far. Off the end of the bat to center field, up and over. It hangs for him. He's got it for the out. So 9 in a row retired by David Price. Orioles go 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the 5th. 1-0 Rays. Home Depot doing more on defense. Home Depot more saving, more doing. And how about Mark Reynolds as B.J. Upton led off in the 4th, playing in tight, ball hit sharply down on the knee to glove it, and then get it across to get the out. Takes an extra base hit away from B.J. Upton. Reynolds talking with Tom Foley, the Rays' third base coach. And he and the Orioles trailing here 1-0 in the 5th. And what's going on with David Price? And a manicure.
Yes, well, important. Take care of the calluses, the fingernails.
Damon takes strike 1 and fouls it back quickly. 0-2.
Yeah, one double away from tying Al Kaline and Bill Buckner, 54th all time. That's a pretty impressive number. Already 8 game-winning RBIs for Johnny Damon. He carried him after they got off to that slow start.
Pulled down the line, foul.
See, there's the first fastball that Jeremy, and he got it in a great spot up and in. Forced him to fight it off. The only place he could hit that pitch was foul.
And misses outside.
So plenty of velocity tonight. 93, 94. That pitch at 96. And again, it's David Price. So familiar story. No offense behind him.
This one line towards left field. Reimold is over to cut it off. Damon is thinking to. Here comes the throw. The tag not in time. And there's a leadoff double for Johnny Damon.
498th double. Now tied with Buckner and Al Kaline. And again, just kind of serves it to left field. The ball is just up a little bit. Nice adjustment by a terrific hitter. Anytime you have 2,637 hits, you can hit.
So now he's chasing Rusty Staub, who has 499 in his career. The 53rd all time.
I see Lagrange Orange down in West Palm Beach quite regularly.
Zobrist fouls it off. That'll be in the crowd.
Well, let's see if they can do a better job than the Orioles did when they had a runner at second as far as advancing the runner. And you would know they would like to make Matt Joyce a much better hitter by getting a runner to third. And you might even see the infield come in because of the way Price is pitching tonight. And there is Matt Joyce.
Zobrist is 0 for 2. And Guthrie misses outside 1-1. Well, he got ahead of Damon. Damon got a base hit. And now 1-1 on Zobrist. Guthrie has not won a game since May the 21st when he beat the Nationals here at Camden Yards.
Well, you can see down in batting practice, Derek Shelton would say, okay, Ben, runner at second, nobody out, hit a ground ball outside. And
that's going to get the job done. That's a base hit down the line. Damon will score. Zobrist heading to second base. Markakis gets it back in. And back-to-back doubles against Guthrie, and the Rays have a 2-0 lead.
And again, as a pitcher, what you're trying to do, you know this is what his attempt's going to be. Look where the pitch is. And again, it's just inside middle, and he's waiting. He wants something to pull. So again, the two-seamer down and away. Maybe you would have got a ground ball back to you, ground ball to shortstop, but back-to-back doubles and lead now 2-0.
So Damon has scored both of the Tampa Bay runs.
And now Joyce will try to do what Zobrist was trying to do, hit a ball to the right side.
And he fouls it off the other way. That's back in the crowd.
Even though it didn't appear that was what he was attempting to do. Yeah, Matt Joyce, his dad, a legend. You know, he comes from the Tampa, St. Petersburg area. His dad, a world-class softball player.
Bounce towards third, and Reynolds with glove in foul territory.
Fast
Another
pitch.
0-2 count.
I don't mean slow pitch, fast pitch. In fact, I was reading an article and I was asking Matt. I said it reminded me of Cal Ripken Jr., where his dad used to do clinics. Klaus Sr. and Cal wanted to spend time with his dad. He would tag along, and that's what Matt Joyce did with his dad. He drove a beer truck during the week, and they would pay him $500 a weekend. You know, anywhere he'd go locally, Matt would be with him. Spend time not only with his dad, but learn about the game of baseball.
Matt Joyce will turn 27 in August. There's Zobrist at second base. And Guthrie's 0-2 is pulled to first, so he'll do his job. Snyder will go to the bag to get the out, but going to third is Ben Zobrist. So a real good team at bat by Joyce and one down. Saturday, June 25th, first 20,000 fans 15 and over at the Orioles game against Cincinnati. Interleague baseball. Receive a Buck Showalter bobblehead presented by AT&T. Don't miss this instant classic Birdline collectible, plus Cincinnati's first ever visit here to Oriole Park. Get your tickets in advance and save. 888-848-BIRD or online at Orioles.com.
So they will bring the infield about halfway in.
And there's a line drive and a base hit to center field. So Longoria has a second RBI. It's a 2-run inning, and the Rays have a 3-0 lead. And again, Longoria swinging at the first pitch.
Well, again, and he's doing that because it's a hitter's pitch. You check it out right here. I mean, it's right down the middle. Not in, not out, not a breaking ball. Just a heater down the middle, and you kind of already know what he's going to do with that pitch because he doubled in the first inning for the first run. And again, it's not easy to pitch against him in any situation, but you bring the infield in because of the runner at third. Joyce got him there, and all of a sudden you make a good hitter even better.
7th base hit for Tampa Bay. 3 coming in this inning. And here's Kochman, runner at first, 1 down. Strike 1. back. Jeremy on the year has averaged 11 base runners per 9 innings worked. And he's already allowed 9 base runners pitching here through 4 1/3. 7 hits and 2 walks. Longoria leading from first. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBI hits.
Well, the numbers don't lie. I mean, this is a team that averages 3 runs at home, talking about the Rays, and 5 on the road. And 5 runs on the road puts you right up there with the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Toronto and Texas. Those are the 4 best teams. So again, this is a totally different team. I mean, they lost last night. They came in at 19-13. They got 19 wins and 14 losses, even though they've struggled as of late. 14-5 through the 19th of May, and 5-9 since. But they score a lot more on the road, and they're showing you why tonight.
And there's a base hit to right field on a 1-2 pitch. Another base hit where Guthrie's ahead in the count.
Well, Jim, Buck Showalter, he's been around the game, and what he basically says is it's about execution. That's a changeup. It's in the middle of the plate. It's not a good 1-2 pitch. And all of a sudden, Kochman, who came in at 329, shoots it into right field. So we've just seen a series of bad pitches when you really can't afford, because of the scoreboard, to make those kind of pitches, and they've taken advantage of it.
Mark Connor out for a visit. What Guthrie needs here is a ground ball to turn 2 and get back to the bench. Even though Price is on the mound at 3-0, still very much a game. And what you don't want to have happen here is have Tampa Bay get one of those crooked number innings.
Well, they're on their way, and Upton, pretty good numbers, over the lifetime batting average of 306 with a couple of home runs against Jeremy Guthrie.
Breaking ball is low, 1-0. The only out Guthrie's been able to get this inning was the Joyce ground out when he was trying to pull the ball to advance the runner to third. That was the ground ball to first. And low again, ball 2. B.J. Upton just 4 for his last 27. Longoria and Kochman the runners. Fouls it straight back, 2-1.
Yeah, Jeremy knows that proper pitch is probably a slider, but he's thrown very few. And when he threw one in his last game, that's the pitch that Yunel Escobar hit into the left field seat for a 3-run home run. So I'm not sure he really trusts that pitch, especially tonight.
Bounce towards short. Hardy charges. Second one. Andino back to first, and not in time. It took that extra hop to Hardy, and a nice job by Andino at second base, because he came off the bag as fast as he could, but kept his foot on there long enough.
Yeah, again, the speed of the ball dictates whether you can turn. Upton with good speed. And then again, he does turn it pretty quickly. Snyder makes a nice play, because you have to be concerned that you figure he's not going to throw him out, which he didn't. And then there's Brandon Snyder knocking it down to keep another run from scoring. Well, you're right about 3-0. You're within shouting distance, even if it is David Price. So this is a huge at bat with John Jaso coming to the plate.
Jaso has walked and singled, and he takes a breaking ball down and in. You were talking earlier about Guthrie doesn't work inside. Why is it that some pitchers, even with the stuff that Guthrie has, why are they reluctant to work inside?
Well, because he throws a lot of two-seamers, and they run left to right. So when you come in, a lot of times that ball will run back over the plate, and you get in trouble. He doesn't really have a cut fastball. See, everything, if you watch it, I mean, we can see tonight, most of the balls to lefties are running to the outside corner and then off the plate. So what do I have in? Doesn't trust his slider tonight. That would have been a good pitch. So again, they know this. They take it away the inside part of the plate, and they're just sitting looking on the outside part of the plate, and that's what Jaso is going to do here, 2-0.
Would you say that Jeremy Guthrie has better stuff than Rodrigo Lopez? Because Rodrigo was very, very efficient at working inside the left-handed batters.
I had to ponder that a second.
Yeah,
you mean now or?
No, I'm just saying because I think Jeremy does have much better stuff than Rodrigo Lopez.
But he's comfortable on certain parts of the plate. He's comfortable more. He's just not comfortable coming in there. And if you were going to say, well, that's one thing you need to improve, but again, this is so critical here because you have to make your guys think they have a chance to win tonight. So if they have a big inning and they already have 2 runs, you want all your guys coming up for the next 5 innings thinking, okay, you know what, we get a hit here, we get a base runner there, exactly what they did on the 1st of April. We got a chance to beat Price as good as he is.
3-0 on Jaso. And there's a strike, 3-1. In fact, Rodrigo, when he was in his prime with the Orioles, Brooke Fordyce was the Orioles catcher then, and he used to tell us that there were certain umpires he had to remind that ball was going to move. Don't call it too soon. Don't give up on it. And he would get a lot of called strike 3s with that pitch. Here's the 3-1 line to center field. Adam Jones in on it, reaches up and makes the catch. Oh, that ball sailed on him, but Jones able to stay with it. 2 runs and 2 left. Middle of the 5th, 3-0 Rays. And welcome back to the broadcast booth. Jim Hunter and Jim Palmer, and David Price doing what David Price does, making it very difficult. Still a game, but the Orioles haven't had very many chances.
No, and when they did, they got runners at first and second, got him as far as second and third, but he made some great pitches. The one thing, Jeremy Guthrie just gave up 2 runs. It wasn't a huge inning, so you're still in the game. But again, when you don't get a lot of runs, you get a feeling sometimes that you got to be perfect, and tonight he hasn't been. But, again, he's kept him in the game, but it's a kind of a same old story, Jim. He pitches all right, but against Price, you got to be a little bit better than that. And, we'll see how it plays out as we get into the later innings.
And sometimes you need those balls maybe to go a little bit to the left or right. Adam Jones crushed that ball in the first inning. Any other place in the ballpark might have been a 2-run homer.
Yeah, but good pitchers have a tendency to say, they walk into a ballpark and they say, where do I want to pitch? Big part of the ballpark, and that's what Price has been able to do.
So Price will go to work now with a 3-0 lead as the Orioles come to bat. Mark Reynolds will lead off. And Dino and Snyder will follow. It's the lower third of the Orioles lineup. And there's a strike taken at the knees. Reynolds came up after Wieters doubled and Reimold walked, and he struck out. So he could not advance the runners.
97 miles per hour fastball, threw it right by him. See, right there, that is the ability that David Price has. He not only to pitch in, but to pitch in off the plate, because he knows he can go up and away, and usually has good command. So he moves your feet, makes you a little uncomfortable, and then hooks you.
2-2 on Reynolds.
Even if you were looking for that curveball, you wouldn't have been able to hit it.
25 years old. Reynolds to right center field. He got a lot of it. Joyce is back on it. Still going back, and that ball is gone. And the Orioles get on the board. It's a 2-run game. Reynolds stays hot with the power.
Well, he said last night, when it heats up, so do I. And that's exactly what's happening. The big fly. He's got that kind of power. I'm sure about right here, David Price thinks it's not too bad a pitch, but then contact, and it just soars out of here.
Our Dodge Ram Exmo brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram.
Well, that's how you hit 44 home runs, 32 home runs. Yeah, you strike out, but he's got unbelievable power. What they say about Josh Hamilton? He used to go down by the batting cage in Texas, and Hank Blaylock, their third baseman, said he's got stupid power, which is one of the ultimate compliments for a power hitter.
1-1 as Andino looks over that breaking ball in the dirt. For Reynolds, it's his 4th home run on the homestand.
So he makes an adjustment. You know, Price strikes him out when he needs to, but again, runs are runs, and the Orioles have one on the board.
Good cut by Andino, but he fouls it back.
Yeah, you're hoping, and we're here in the the 5th inning with nobody out. He's got 71 pitches thrown. You want to get into that bullpen. Take your chances out there. It's not that they haven't done a good job, but get them out of the game somehow.
Well, there's one call that didn't go Price's way. He's been so consistently around the strike zone that he's getting all those borderline calls.
But he couldn't even tell that he didn't agree with the call or wanted it.
2-2 is fouled off as Andino fights it off to stay alive. David Price, 36-18 in his career. And he is, as Buck Showalter reminded everybody before the game today, a legitimate ace.
Well, that's the whole theory about trying to go out and get guys with power arm. Dylan Bundy out of high school. They hope that eventually he'll come to the big leagues, be that type of guy.
Andino to center field chasing Upton. Upton can't see it. Now he picks it up, and he's got it for the out. So he is able to get back on it and one away. This date in baseball history brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios, a network ahead. To learn more, visit Fios.com/getFios. Well, 1938, the Reds' Johnny Vandermeer no-hits the Braves. That was the first of the back-to-back no-hitters. 1981, Orioles lose to the Mariners in Seattle, the last game before the 50-day player strike. And then in 1995, Lee Smith, then of the California Angels, set a major league record. And here's a breaking ball taken by Brandon Snyder for ball 1. Snyder lined out to center field his first at bat. And looks it over again. 2-0 on Brandon Snyder. Brandon up from AAA Norfolk. Ooh, there's a strike of the inside corner.
The 2-0 hook. Totally unpredictable with that kind of stuff. And you wonder how he lost 5 games. You know, it's not like he's unhittable, because it has happened. Not lately, but I mean, he went through a stretch where he gave up 4 runs against Toronto, one of the better hitting teams, and against the Angels at home 5 runs, and then back-to-back games against the Yankees and the Marlins 5 runs, and then lately he's been lights out.
Just inside, ball 3. Either Brandon Snyder has a real good eye, or he was fortunate that was a close pitch.
Well, it's not about it. Probably both. He had a good eye, and Tim Wilkie didn't call it a strike, because he's calling some balls off the plate a strike tonight.
Line drive, base hit to right field over the leap for the second baseman Zobrist. So Brandon Snyder gets on to allow the tying run to come to the plate. So Brandon has a base hit, getting a start here tonight.
Yeah, he hits a P. Again, the Orioles making some nice adjustments. Boy, you try to stay on top of the ball. He was able to do that on that one. And again, a 353 hitter against left-handed pitching last year at AAA. That's why they bring him up when Derek Lee's not here.
So the Orioles, for the first time tonight, have 2 hits in the same inning. They have just 4 for the game, and now the lineup turns over for Hardy, who takes a strike. J.J. 0 for 2, trying to extend the hitting streak. He came in at 4 straight. He's got 4 home runs over his last 9 games, so he and Reynolds are heating up with the long ball. And he was trying to do that right there, and he swung through it 0-2.
Yeah, hard to expand the strike zone against David Price and have success. Even though in that game down in, again, it was the first game of the year, he did double. They tried to pick him off. He scored on a Markakis single, then walked later when the Orioles had a 3-run 5th off of David Price.
0-2 is fouled away.
But again, this is all about inflating the pitch count. Now at 83. The most he's thrown this year, 114, actually 116 early in the year. But he's right around 110, 113, 114. That was Jim Hickey, his pitching coach. And it is hot and it is humid.
And he gets Hardy. So down on strikes goes Hardy. A huge out for David Price. His 4th and 2 away.
Well, location and movement on this pitch. 2-seamer down and away at 95. It appeared it was going to be on the corner and just quickly ran away from J.J. Hardy.
2 down. Here's Nick Markakis. Nick had the big night last night. He's 1 out of 2 tonight, so he's hitting 3 straight. And a line drive, base hit center field. Snyder will be able to get to third on this one as B.J. Upton plays it back in. So Nick Markakis back-to-back multi-hit games, and the Orioles have 2 on with 2 out.
Well, you're saying what, Nick? I mean, nobody in baseball hit better against lefties last year. You mentioned how Price just wears out lefty this year. 143 with only 1 home run. Hangs a breaking ball. Nick all over it. 1st and 3rd for Adam Jones. And again, the pitch count now at 86.
So Markakis now 17 multi-hit games on the year. And now David Price will work with 2 outs to Adam Jones. Tonight's AL League leaders brought to you by Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Action-packed table games and red-hot slots await at Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races.
Yeah, they're your bunt leaders. He won't be bunting now. There it is. Well, Borges, obviously, Casilla, Corey Patterson, we know he does that. Pierre, and then you got Adam. A little different MO when he comes to the plate. Of course, this is a drive it somewhere, hit it up the gap.
Popped up foul. That'll be back in the crowd. Bounces on top of the Orioles dugout.
I would think we're going to see 95 to 97 right here if he throws fastballs. Because he knows he needs to get out of this jam right here. You never know when the moment's going to be in a game when you're a starting pitcher. And for David Price, it's right here. For Adam Jones, equally as important.
Snyder at third, Markakis at first with 2 out. Line drive to right field. Joyce back on it, still going back, and it's over his head, and it bounces up into the crowd. It cost the Orioles a run. Another bouncer on the rubberized warning track. Snyder scores. It's a 1-run game.
Well, either you got to go to cinder or you got to make the walls higher. We know that's not going to happen. But you're right about this. Again, I mean, are you getting good pitches to hit? Yep. In the middle of the plate. Joyce can't get it. And that's a run saver right there for David Price. Boy, he gets lucky.
So it's a one-run game. Markakis to third, Jones to second with a 2-out RBI, his 33rd. So both Reynolds and Jones tied for the team lead in RBIs. Each have one in this inning. And here's Vladimir Guerrero, second and third and 2 down. And he fouls it straight back. Vladimir has bounced into a fielder's choice and was called out on strikes. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second with 2 down. Here's the 0-1. Bounce foul. And the count 0-2 on Vladdy. So what will Price do now? Ahead of Guerrero, who
was not going to throw him a strike. I'd be very surprised if he's anywhere near the strike zone. Of course, he chases.
And he fouled it straight down at the plate. Just did nick it to stay alive. Wow.
Well, what they've done here, and this is a 96-mile-per-hour fastball, is that ball, I mean, it just kind of, it's like it's at the beach. 91 pitches now. 27 pitches here in the 5th.
And he gets Guerrero to get out of it. So the Orioles, they'll get back in the game as they put together a 4-hit, 2-run inning. Mark Reynolds got it going, his 11th home run into the bleachers in right field, and it's a 3-2 Tampa Bay lead.
And me for the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report each weekday starting at 5:30 here on MASN. We'll talk about the Orioles, the Nationals, and what's going on around the majors. It all begins every weekday at 5:30 right here on MASN.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. We go to the 6th and a new game as the Orioles get 2 to get back in it. Strand 2. And Jeremy Guthrie out there now working against Justin Ruggiano. Brignac and Damon to follow. A 7-batter 5th inning for Tampa Bay got 2 runs in. And the Orioles had a 7-batter 5th inning to get 2 runs in. Tampa Bay has had base runners in all 5 at-bats. Bouncer right back to Guthrie. Nicely played. And 1 away in the 6th inning. Well, fans, we encourage you to gather up your group and enjoy Oriole Park's newest fan destination. It's the Miller Lite Flight Deck. For one low price, you enjoy a fun, casual atmosphere, bar-like seating, and a great view of the game. Plus, everyone in the group receives a food and beverage voucher to use throughout the ballpark. For more on the Miller Lite Flight Deck, 888-848-BIRD, or get online, Orioles.com. Look at the gang having fun up there tonight on a Saturday night, a warm Saturday night, an ice-cold Miller Lite.
You ever been up there?
Yep.
Really? That's what you do after. That's what you do after the opening.
No.
What do you guys are so relaxed out there?
No, Janet Marie Smith gave me a tour of the right before the home opener. There's a fly ball to the left, back on it is Reimold. Still going back, and he's got it for the out. They made so many changes here in the offseason that she gave me a tour of some of the little nuances to look for. They now have tables in left field on the club level where fans can hang out and watch the game. The Miller Lite flight deck down there, the right field line.
Yeah, lovely lady, great architect too.
There's on the club level, so you can hang out. And you got the kids out there with the cotton candy.
Yeah, I thought you and Rick Dempsey, you do your opening, you go up to the Miller flight deck, hang out, relax.
Go to the picnic area.
Yeah. Well, that's right, kind of right out in your territory.
Yeah, exactly. We've named that after you.
Is that on your level?
Well, you mean because I'm short?
Well, if you want to. No, I wasn't really. That's kind of right there with the
we have a
pre-game and post-game
stage out there. Yes. Fly ball to center field off the bat of Damon. Jones back. And he glides to it and puts it away. So Guthrie, after his team got him back in the game, has his first 3-up, 3-down inning. Good game at the yard, 3-2 Tampa.
First, double by Longoria over the head of Adam Jones. And then once again, Longo, a couple of runs. 3-0 at this time. Then Mark Reynolds gets the Orioles on the board. And then Adam Jones' second run gets a little unlucky. Otherwise, the game would be tied. So David Price gives up a couple. And they exchange runs in the 5th inning. Longoria, good night. I'm sure they're happy about that. Mark Reynolds again, hot with a home run bat. And Guthrie trying to, it looks like he's going to get in front of the bullpen, so maybe that's it because of the heat here tonight. Pitched well enough to win with some run support, didn't get it so far.
And Wieters takes a strike. Well, Guthrie did exactly what he needed to do as Jim Johnson now begins to get loose to come on and work in the 7th inning. His team got him back in the game, and he had a 3-up, 3-down inning, his first of the night.
Yeah, I think he'd like to go out there because the pitch count right around the 90 mark, giving himself even a better chance. But the bullpen well rested because of the outstanding starting, the off days. Perfect time to go to a guy that's been pitching lights out in Jim Johnson.
Wieters, Reimold, Reynolds for the Orioles in the 6th. Matt 1 out of 2 with a double.
And Jeremy's saying perfect time to put 2 on the board, and maybe I can get a win here. That's what happens when you're going well.
And a base hit to left field as Matt Wieters gets on. He's got a 2-hit game. Tying run on. Leading off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So the Orioles coming right back at David Price. Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Fact number 1, J.J. Hardy hit a home run in his first plate appearance in his first 2 career starts batting leadoff, both on this homestand. Brady Anderson hit 12 leadoff home runs in 1996 alone. That's an Orioles record, and Brady's in the ballpark tonight. Chatted with Brady by the batting cage on the field before the game.
Chatting?
Yeah.
You were chatting.
Yeah, you have a chat. That's what you do by the batting cage. You chat. And you listen and you observe and you chat.
So, yeah, you're probably the same type of guy that doesn't eat lunch. You do lunch. Maybe you do both.
Usually I'm having lunch and doing prep work. I don't have the social life you do with the people inviting you places.
Well, that's you live in the burbs.
Yep.
What's the closest restaurant from your house?
Basta Pasta.
No, I mean how many miles?
Oh, 1 mile.
Okay.
But that's the only one that's close.
Like 3 doors. Being Italian, you ought to be living in the middle of it.
I know. I understand there's an Italian festival going on there this weekend.
Oh, I was trying to take a nap.
My Sicilian grandparents would love, probably if I went there.
Well, I think it runs through tomorrow.
Maybe I'll do that after a day game tomorrow.
You could do it in the 3rd inning, 2nd inning. Come back.
I wouldn't want to come back. Reimel takes strike 3. There's number 6 for David Price. Good pitch.
Wow, terrific pitch inside corner. And again, there's the target from John Jaso, and he hits it. That's a pitch, a number 100.
There's J.P. Howell, one of 2 left-handers in the Tampa Bay bullpen.
Yeah, he's back, had all kinds of shoulder problems, so missed most of last year. Pitched well the last time, but he's been struggling a little bit, so we'll see if he comes in there.
So Wieters at first now with 1 down, and here's Mark Reynolds. And he takes it down and in, 1-0. Here's the solo home run in the 5th inning.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be a fly ball, except it keeps going and going and going. Because at the time it's 3-0. It makes it 3-1. So David Price just kind of watches it. He knows it's going out of here. A little different. He doesn't get that curveball, which he wanted. Probably a strike, but didn't get the call. I don't really know how you can make a much better pitch.
Tim Welke saw it bend around the plate.
And there's another one. No, Price is looking in now. Hadn't done it all night. Well, you talked about, again, how you're going to pitch inside. A lot of times, I had Elrod Hendricks tell Russ Guess. Well, we called him Russ Guess, but his name was Russ Getz. Tell him the curveball's coming, because he just wasn't a good curveball umpire.
See if Reynolds goes 3-0. He does, and a high fly ball to center field. Upton back on it. Will it carry? Back he goes. Back he goes. It's gone! It kept on going. A 2-home run game, and the Orioles have the lead.
And so does Jeremy Guthrie. Well, you know what? He hit 44. He hit 32. He likes the warm weather. That's what he talked about yesterday, and he's got incredible power. And, again, I don't think it's gutsy. I think it's just smart baseball by Buck Showalter. Going to probably take something off to throw a strike, and right here, Price. He's just hoping it stays in the park, and it doesn't. But again, he gets the green light. Nice managing. See the Buck Showalter bobblehead. It's in the booth.
And undefeated in the booth. Right?
Yes, but Buck will tell you it's still only the 6th inning.
So Mark Reynolds, back-to-back innings, he homers. He's got 3 ribbies, 12 home runs, 35 RBIs now to lead the club. And then Dino takes a high strike. David Price is probably wondering where was that call a couple of pitches ago. So Tampa Bay had a 3-0 lead going to the bottom of the 5th. We're now in the bottom of the 6th, and the Orioles on top. And normally, from our booth here at Camden Yards, which is a perfect location to call a game, you can pretty much tell if the ball's going out. But when Mark Reynolds hits them, you can't tell because he hits them so high.
Well, yes, and he's done that early in the year, and then the weather is a little bit colder. Ball doesn't carry quite as well. I mean, it's a combination of great strength. But again, what a gutsy call. You let him swing 3-0. A lot of guys don't like to do that. You know, Earl Weaver had a great sense of knowing who could do it. Andres Mora, one of the great 3-0 hitters in the history of the game, at least on the Orioles. But you give him the green light, and he goes right through it.
It's his first multi-home run game as an Oriole. He's now got 5 home runs on the homestand. Third ball bounced to third. Longoria backs up to play the hop. And the long throw across gets Andino for the second out. So Mark Reynolds, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs on the homestand. This is the 8th game of the 9-game homestand. And he now has 7 home runs in the last 16 games.
I listened to your opening. I heard you talk about that last night. I wasn't hanging on every word like I used to do, but most.
So what, you don't trust my facts anymore?
No, I do. I was trying to scramble to.
You have your people check him out.
No, now Dempsey has people.
It's the 1-0 pitch. And then Brandon Snyder takes a strike. Brandon got the Orioles going for their second run in the 5th with a 1-out single. And he came around to score on the Adam Jones double. And that one's inside, and David Price may be running out of gas.
Well, again, the pitch count, they let him throw somewhere in the 110 to 114 range. And that's 114 right there. And of course, wasn't part of the game plan that Reynolds was going to hit the 2-run home run.
Oh, good changeup. You don't see that in AAA.
No. Well, that's the pitch he used against the Angels. Bobby Ramos, their bullpen coach, just saying maybe you got a little bit fastball happy. It's not hard to do when you're throwing 95 to 97.
Swept towards third as Brandon Snyder protecting, and he stays alive.
But it's very emotionally disturbing sometimes when you blow a 3-0 lead, and that's part of the learning process. Doesn't matter if you're 25 or 30. He still needs to get through this inning to give himself a chance to win. It's exactly what Jeremy Guthrie, you've talked about it. Had a quick 6th inning, got out of a tough 5th inning. Instead of 4 runs, he held them to 2 runs, and they've come back.
Brandon Snyder towards left field and on Ruggiano, and he's got it for the out, but the damage done. Leadoff single by Wieters, and then Mark Reynolds, his second home run of the game, and the Orioles have the lead. Astros action, our series finale. Brian Mattis will be on the mound, and he'll take on right-hander Wade Davis. Coverage on MASN HD begins at 1 o'clock with those extra presented by Verizon 4G LTE, and then game coverage at 1:30. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN.
Jim Johnson hopefully coming to the rescue for Jeremy Guthrie. The Orioles now with a 1-run lead. Again, pitching extremely well in the last 16 appearances, only 3 earned runs. In fact, the bullpen in the last 11 games have given up 4 runs, so a 1-point ERA. There are the numbers. Doesn't walk a lot of guys, and when he's on his game, tremendous sinker with a good changeup and curveball to go with it.
So Guthrie goes 6 innings, 3 runs on 8 hits, and he did an outstanding job in that 5th inning. Tampa Bay had 2 runs in, 2 runners on, and only 1 man down. And Jeremy got out of that inning without allowing another run. And then he went 3 up and 3 down in the 6th, and his team got him the lead. First ball swinging is Zobrist over Reimold, and he's not going to get it, and that goes all the way to the wall. So Zobrist with a leadoff double. Tampa Bay down by a run in the 7th.
Well, he's now 6 for 14 with a couple of home runs off Jim Johnson. So you try to get ahead, and Jim Johnson just leaves it up just enough. Good approach, finds a gap all the way to the wall. And then right into the heart of the lineup. So a double down the right field line into the corner, and then one the opposite way. You get an idea of why Zobrist can be a tough out.
Here's Matt Joyce, who is 0 for 3, but his last at-bat, that ground out in the 5th, advanced Zobrist to 3rd, where he then scored. Johnson misses inside, 1-0.
Yeah, Jim was talking about, you come out of the bullpen, and, he said while he has a good sinker, he doesn't always know if it's going to sink. So, a lot of times for the middle of the plate, hope it doesn't end up there. Hope that you have that pitch. There's the good one. And again, when you come in as a late inning, a hold guy, or even a closer, not a lot of room for error.
Johnson has really been pitching very well, as has the bullpen. Fly ball, shallow center. Zobrist will get back to draw a throw. Adam Jones in on it. Zobrist bluffs going, and there's a huge out for Jim Johnson, and 1 away. And tonight's game flow brought to you by Bosch Thermal Technology. There's a smarter way to heat and cool your home. Visit Bosch/climate.us to learn more. Well, our game flow of the night, it's about an Orioles comeback, trailing 3-0 going to the bottom of the 5th. Now have a 4-3 lead in the 7th. Mark Reynolds, a 2-home-run game.
Of course, you'll know this. I was reading a note today that none of these games between the Rays and the Orioles this year have been settled by 2 or less runs. So this would be a first if it ends up somewhat in this score.
Kevin Longoria, perfect night. RBI double, RBI single, and a walk.
Well, he's gotten 2 good pitches to hit, and he's hit them.
The Orioles bullpen in the last 11 outings has allowed just 4 earned runs. And in that span, Kevin Gregg has picked up 4 saves, and the bullpen has picked up a win. Swings through it, 0-2.
Well, there's the changeup. So he hooked him. He changed up on him. And to me, that's his. Not that he doesn't have a good curveball, but again, when you throw in the mid-90s and you have a fastball or a changeup that's 7-8 miles per hour slower and it has good movement, tough pitch to handle.
0-2 on Longoria. Popped him up. Again, shallow center field. Jones moves in on it. And makes the catch. So how about that? The sinker ball pitcher Jim Johnson gets back-to-back big outs on pop-ups to shallow center.
Well, that's what he was talking about in Seattle. And, and again, a lot of times in a perfect world, you'd always come in if you were a sinker baller and have the sinker, but he's got a power arm. So again, the ability to get you out a lot of ways, which makes me think that he could close, start. Not that Mark Connors, the pitching coach for the O's, doesn't think the same thing. I mean, he's got that kind of stuff. 3 outstanding pitches. And then there's a curveball that, he didn't call the ones to David Price that were over the plate, but this one's about 3 inches off the outside corner, maybe more. That's in the other batter's box, and Welke rings him up. The Orioles got a nice break to get the count to Mark Reynolds 3-0.
Bouncer towards the middle, and Dino near the bag, off balance throw, the bounce, and it gets by Brandon Snyder, and a run will score, and this game is tied. Snyder tried to play the carom, and it bounced past him and into the photographer's well.
Well, Derek Lee is so good. He's not here. Good pitch. Talked about the pop-ups, and again, it just hits the dirt and stays up. You probably assume it's going to stay down a little bit, and he just doesn't catch it. And that's why you miss. And nothing against Brandon Snyder. Derek Lee is so good over there. So that's a big loss when you have him gone for the weekend.
And it's outside 1-0. That'll be an infield hit for Kochman, and the run scores, and Kochman goes to second on an E4 on the throw. And Dino's 6th error on the year. The 1-0 to Upton is a strike. So this game is tied. Guthrie has pitched to a no decision. And David Price, he's still the pitcher of record for Tampa Bay. He'd love to see that run come across here. Kochman at second base with 2 down. So Johnson made a good pitch, got a ground ball, but it was just hit to a good spot.
Yeah, what's the irony of that? As you mentioned, sinker ball pitcher gets outs on fly balls, and the grounder, on a grounder. Even though the run didn't score on that, it scored on the throwing error. And there's the changeup. Bottom drops out.
1-2 on Upton, who was 0 for 3 on the night.
2 for 11 with a home run off Jim Johnson, so not a lot of at-bats.
Johnson trying to end it right here. And a broken bat, fly ball to center, and on it is Jones, and he'll put it away for the out. But the Rays get an unearned run to tie. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight. As the Birds get set to bat in the bottom of the 7th. And thanks for hanging out with us on this Saturday night. Jim Hunter and Jim Palmer. And a tough break there for Jeremy Guthrie. An unearned run allows Tampa Bay to tie the score. So a tough no decision.
Well, he really battled him. And, again, anytime you pitch against David Price, this is the second time the Orioles have been able to get 4 runs off him. You really know that you can't have a bad night, and he didn't. again, I mean, that fifth inning could have been more than 2 runs. He was able to come back, had an easy 6th, in a position to win, but again, kind of a fateful, 6th inning or 7th inning. And you get a feeling, both of these teams, because the Rays came in winning 3 in a row, Jim. Orioles had won 3 in a row, now made it 4 in a row. Both teams want these games pretty badly.
We talk about resiliency in baseball all the time, and the Orioles really have shown a resiliency on the year. Of course, sometimes you prefer not to be behind in games, but I think the fact that they've been able to come back in so many games, it doesn't seem to bother them.
No, and that's the fact that, they haven't had Brian Roberts since May 16th. Derek Lee's been in and out of the lineup, so, they're doing the best they can, but it's an improved ball club, and, and they're trying to beat a team that's won the division 2 out of the last 3 years.
So the left-hander J.P. Howell comes on as the Orioles come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th in this 4-4 game. Top of the lineup, Hardy, Markakis, and Jones, and Hardy takes ball 1. So the Orioles now will look to get that run back. Hardy is hitless on the night. David Price struck him out twice, and he's also flied out. High fly ball to left field. Back it goes. Did Hardy go deep? At the wall and reach, and he got it! What a play by Ruggiano. Timed it perfectly and takes a home run away from Hardy. 1 down in the 7th.
Now that's when you need to get your NBA players out there. High changeup. And again, we told you Howell's been struggling a little bit, and then just gets up, low roll, ball's definitely out of the ballpark, but he hauls it back in, and J.P. Howell elated. So 5 appearances for Howell, and scored on in all except his last one. Big curve ball, real good changeup, throws it in any count. Coming off the shoulder problem, so he's been a little bit struggled just to get back here. We've gone 605 days since major league appearances, so good to see him back. And there's the hook.
So Price goes 6 innings, 4 runs on 8 hits. 2 of those hits, the home runs by Reynolds. And the Reynolds home runs driving in 3 of the 4 Oriole runs. Markakis a bouncer towards second. Zobrist plays an in-between hop. And Markakis is retired for the 2nd out. Well, you can entertain clients, colleagues, and more with a custom suite package at Oriole Park. Private suites available in a variety of locations and packages, and offer your company a sophisticated, affordable way to make a statement. To find out more, visit Orioles.com/suites, or to arrange a private tour, call 410-547-6076.
Yeah, just a little, probably about, a year and a couple of weeks, J.P. Howell had surgery for a torn labrum. That's what surrounds the ball of your shoulder, so he came back pretty quickly. I was talking to Richie Bancells, the Oriole trainer in spring training, Jim, and he was talking about Tommy John now. The Tommy John surgery where they take out a tendon and implant it in your elbow is probably in the 80th percentile. Labrum's success rate not quite as high. So again, sometimes tough to come back from it.
That ball bounces all the way back over the screen and into the crowd. So the unearned run, top half of this inning, ties the game. And each starter pitching to a no decision. This game in the hands of the bullpens. And J.J. Hardy robbed by Ruggiano in left field. Jones swings at a pitch and misses, and he may have gotten a piece of Jaso on the backswing.
Yeah, good breaking ball. Let's see Adam with a big double the last time, and you can see good curveball. Goes straight down, and
ooh, on the shoulder. Wow. Jaso reluctantly back behind the plate. And Jones, who has an RBI double in 3 trips. Awaiting a 1-2 pitch from J.P. Howell. And he bounces another one up there.
Well, that's a lot better when you're heading the count. They tell you to finish your breaking balls and trust your catcher that he'll be able to block them. And we've already seen a changeup. J.J. Hardy almost took it out of here. You don't have to hit it that far to left center here. I mean, the power alley in left 364, and he hit it about 365 feet, and Luciano jumped up and caught it.
2-2 is fouled off his foot, rolls out to the mound.
You know, Hal's one of those young pitchers. He comes over in a trade. Joey Gathright goes to Kansas City. Here's another breaking ball that he's going to hit straight down. They got him in the shin. They start him as a starter. He goes 1-6 next year, the year that they went all the way to the World Series. He's in the bullpen. There you go. Starting maybe not his style. So he goes from being 1-6 to being 6-1, and then the next 133 games in the bullpen, then hurts his shoulder.
Jones to third. That is a foul ball. Immediately called by Jim Reynolds at third base. Longoria made the play just in case, and Jones will come back and get another hack at J.P. Howell. Orioles are 5-2 on the homestand, which will conclude tomorrow. This is game 8 of the 9-game homestand. Then the Orioles go on the road for a 9-game road trip, and the last 6 of those are interleague games in National League parks, which means no DH. So the man standing on deck, Vladimir Guerrero, will be replaced by Zach Britton and or Jake Arrieta, depending on who's pitching that day in the batting order, unless Vladimir's in the field somewhere. 2-2 to Jones, called strike 3. Adam fooled by the pitch, and Howell has an interesting but 3-up, 3-down inning, bailed out by Ruggiano, who robs J.J. Hardy of a go-ahead home run. Player of the game, and the candidates are Mark Reynolds, a pair of home runs, 3 RBIs, or Adam Jones. Adam Jones had an RBI hit in the rally. Evan Longoria. Longoria's got 2 RBI hits for Tampa Bay. Text in your vote now and have your voice heard, A, B, or C, to 51862. And Johnson stays on for a second inning of work. He'll go against the lower third of Joe Maddon's lineup. Don Jaso, the catcher, takes ball 1. Jaso has singled, he has walked, he has flied out. Takes ball 2.
Yeah, the master of taking the base on ball last year. It's a new hitter, really was with the club in spring training, then made it after Kelly Shoppage got hurt. And then had a nice little year for him. High on base percentage. Of course, they win the American League East. I've done it 2 out of the last 3 years. He was an important part of it. This year, not having the type of year.
Bounce towards first. Brandon Snyder plays the hop. He'll flip to Johnson. And one away in the Tampa Bay 8th inning. You can follow the Orioles with the MLB.com At Bat 2011 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, interactive maps of Oriole Park, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Orioles.com for complete details. So one away in the 8th inning, and here is Justin Ruggiano. He was drafted originally by the Dodgers, but every game he has played in the big leagues has been for Tampa Bay. Swings through it 1-1 on. He was the player to be named later in that huge trade in 2006. The Dodgers sent Deoner Navarro, Jaewon Sei. Well, those guys, came to Tampa for Toby Hall and Mark Hendrickson. So it was a 5-player deal. Navarro and Sei went to Tampa Bay. Toby Hall and Mark Hendrickson went to the Dodgers, and then Justin Ruggiano was the player to be named going to Tampa Bay. There's a ground ball towards short. Hardy to his left, gobbles it up, straightens and throws, and 2 away.
Yeah, he just seems to get to every ball. You know, I was talking to him about it. I said, you know, have you ever stole a lot of bases? He said, no, I'm quick, and that's what good infielders have to have. They have to have the fast feet, get the good jumps, and you can see it right there. Great vantage point. And then a very accurate arm. He said a lot of sprained ankles playing basketball. He said, I watch a pickoff basketball game and my ankles start hurting.
Ground ball to second base off the bat of Brignac. First ball swinging, and Jim Johnson has a 3-up, 3-down 8th on 3 ground ball outs. Guerrero, Wieters, and Reimold coming up in a 4-4 game. Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the Living Classrooms Foundation. To date, the Orioles have drawn 186 walks for a total of $9,300. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle.
So Joel Peralta comes in. You know, good stuff. If you get on, he'll quick pitch you, or actually he'll go from the windup, and then he'll never set his hand, so he's very tricky. And again, the oldest pitcher of the Rays bullpen. Pretty good stuff. Nice little slider. You know, low 90s. Throws a lot of strikes. Pitching last year right down the expressway, the Baltimore-Washington Expressway. 39 games with the Nationals. And did a very nice job. 1-0 record, but again, very low earned run average of 2 runs a game, 202.
Vladimir Guerrero 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Those at bats against David Price. And it's outside, 1-0. Vladimir has now gone 62 at-bats since his last home run, which he hit on May 22nd against the Nationals.
Well, the good news is all 5 of them have been at home. He's yet to hit one on the road.
And a good off-speed pitch, 1-1. Peralta has been with the Angels, Royals, Rockies, Nationals, and Tampa Bay. His longest stretch was with the Royals for 3 years, 06, 07, 08. Same pitch, same result.
Well, the only good news for Vladimir Guerrero is that he didn't put it in play, because those were 2 heck of a curveball. This is the pitcher's pitch, and so again, we know he's going to swing. He swings at more first pitches than anybody in baseball, even though that was a second strike. So again, you put that ball in play, hard to do anything with it.
1-2 the count. Guerrero leading off in the 8th. Line drive off the end of the bat, left center field. Ruggiani calls. And Ruggiano has it for the out, and 1 away in the 8th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by Authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Saturday night downtown on a muggy evening in Baltimore. Matt Wieters batting left-handed for the first time tonight. He's had a good night, 2 out of 3. His 17th multi-hit game. Now back just to our left, 0-1. Peralta is making his 290th Major League appearance. He has never started a game in the big leagues.
Well, you know what that means.
He's pretty good at what he does.
Right, and he doesn't have enough pitches to start.
The old third pitch theory.
Well, there it is, though. Another changeup to go. I mean, we've already seen a breaking ball. We've seen 92. May have gotten labeled early on. Better out of the pen.
Tampa Bay has out-hit the Orioles 10-8, but the Orioles have a pair of big home runs by Mark Reynolds. 0-2 on Wieters. And a soft line drive. That'll fall base hit. What a nice swing down in the count, 0-2, Jim. He didn't try to do too much, just get a nice level cut.
Well, yeah, he could hit a lot of pitches. We've already seen him hit a fastball off of David Pierce the other way right here. Again, this ball's down the way. You probably don't get as good a bat on it, but it's down. It's just in the middle of the plate. And, what did Jim Presley tell pretty much the whole team? Hey, let's be a little bit better when we do get to 2 strikes. As good as David Price is, I mean, his stuff was outstanding. The Orioles made adjustments as the game went on, and then again, Reynolds worked the count. Luke Scott's going to get ready.
Luke will pinch hit for Nolan Reimold to get the lefty up there with the righty on the mound. Tampa Bay's bullpen is quiet. So,
well, you talked about the other lefty is Cesar Ramos. So Howell out of there. He pitches a scoreless 7th. And nobody up. Buck says, okay. Then Buck Showalter says, I'm going to at least get it back. And what Peralta's going to try to do. He's going to try to get softer and softer against Luke Scott.
Luke is 2 for 10 on the homestand. He has Wieters at first base representing the go-ahead run. The 2 hits came in Tuesday's game, and one of those hits landed on Utah Street.
Well, got the cortisone shot. Talked about labrum tears, and I don't know if it's a tear, but he does have some serious right shoulder problems that will probably cause an operation. So did get it injected, feeling better.
And he takes a breaking ball down and in 1-0.
Yeah, Tim Welke having a tough night on the breaking ball tonight. Probably why, as an umpire, had trouble hitting the breaking ball coming through the.
That's why I became an announcer.
That's why I became a pitcher.
Yeah, because then you could be throwing it,
flinging
not trying to hit it. Swap foul. 1-1 on Scott. Wieters at first with one down. The Orioles, after getting the lead, Tampa Bay tied it in the 7th on an unearned run, so we're 4-4 bottom 8. Kevin Gregg is getting ready to pitch the 9th. Orioles hoping to get the lead here and hand it to him in a save opportunity.
Otherwise, you bring your closer in to pitch the top of the 9th. Hope you can win it in the bottom of the 9th.
And foul back.
Well, there's your hittable pitch right there, hanging changeup, and you can see John Jaso saying, "We've got to stay down." He got away with that one.
Joe Madden altered the shift against Luke Scott until 2 strikes, because in the game last night, part of this has to be Luke showed twice that he was going to bunt. And now with 2 strikes, Longoria moves all the way to where the shortstop would be, and the shortstop Brignac is on the other side.
And eventually, Buck Showalter talked to Luke, and he said, you're a couple of runs down, and they give you the bunt, and you can take it. Yeah, because we need base runners. Now we need RBIs, runs driven in.
Line to right field, back on to Joyce. It's over his head and bangs against the scoreboard. Wieters heading to third. Luke put on the brakes, and a good thing he did. That count was played perfectly by Joyce. So
there
Luke
you go.
Scott gets the go-ahead run to third.
Yeah, they try to stay away from anything in the middle of the plate and something hard. And I mean, this is how strong he is. They try to sneak a fastball by him. It's like sneaking daylight by a rooster. It's not going to happen. And again, right here, nice read by Matt Wieters, so he'll easily. And Luke's wise decision right here. Play in front of you. Joyce plays it well off the road, and Jim Hickey going to have a little discussion.
So Felix P.A. will pinch run for Wieters now that the go-ahead run is at third. So Buck Showalter waits because now a fly ball could tie the game, and he wants the faster runner at third base.
Well, this is about okay. I mean, Reynolds has hit a couple of home runs tonight. One when David Price had a 3-0 lead. And the other one when he got 3-0. Here's the first one right here, make it 3-1. The other one seemed like Welke missed some curveballs, and Buck Showalter let him swing away 3-0. And there's your result.
So Reynolds has a chance. He has done it twice tonight. Wants to get the Orioles on the board and wants to give the Orioles the lead, trying to get the Orioles the lead again here in the bottom of the 8th. Tampa Bay, they're looking for a ground ball to turn 2 and end the inning.
Boy, either that or a strikeout, and then take your chances with Andino on deck. They do play back in double play position. Good speed now at third base with Felix P.A. Changeup. And a good one.
And Peralta gets ahead 0-1.
Well, the one thing about Kevin Reynolds, and we've actually seen this, 241 lifetime hitter, 261 career with runners in scoring position. I mean, Mark Reynolds. I call him Kevin. Still think I'm doing the Met games. Anyway, sorry. But anyway, he's always been better average-wise when you get runners in scoring position over the course of his career.
0-1 the count.
Another
swings through it again.
And obviously not being able to read that pitch, an integral part of hitting. I mean, he sells it like you're trying to sell a used car. Oh, what a great vantage point there. That's what the changeup does. You can see the bat head out in front.
So Reynolds down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, first and third and 1 down. And Peralta steps off the rubber, and he asks John Jaso to go through the signs again. Big moment in this game. Orioles trying to get the lead back. 0-2 on Reynolds. Scott runs, and the pitch is in the dirt. And Luke has a stolen base. Oh, that is huge because it takes away the possibility for the ground ball double play.
Yeah, it pretty much gives you 2 shots. And a nice play by John Jaso just to get in front of it. And there he goes, and he didn't pay attention.
And his first stolen base of the year. And now Tampa Bay draws the infield in. A ball and 2 strikes on Reynolds. And it's over but low. So the first 2 pitches he got ahead. He tried to get him again with the same pitches, and Reynolds adjusted.
Well, you did, and this is what Jim Presley talked about all spring, is that, okay, even if Mark Reynolds cuts his strikes down by 25% or 20%, do it in these situations. I mean, right here, he's a fly ball hitter. Hit a fly ball. You don't have to hit a home run. It would be nice. But again, just try to, of course, I'm not sure he's going to get a pitch with 2 strikes to put in the air, but just try to slow it down. Let the ball travel a little bit. Again, this is not David Price out there throwing 97. See the guy 92. Try to read the pitch and try to put it in play. And because they're in, it makes it, if you can make contact, a little easier to hit.
From 0-2 to 2-2. 2 on, 1 out. And he fouls it off. Back in the crowd over the first base side.
And that's what Presley was talking about. Right there, it just kind of stayed back a little bit, and pretty good breaking ball, able to foul it off. If you swing through it, it's a strikeout.
At the Bay's bench, anxiously looking on.
Well, they're used to winning, Jim, as you know. They've gone from a team that lost 10 straight years to winning 2 out of 3 American League divisions.
2-2 on Reynolds.
No.
Called strike 3. Reynolds fooled by the pitch. He let it go by, and 2 men are down.
Another changeup. Pattern didn't change. Filters back down, catch inside corner. It's a good one. Nicely framed by John Jaso behind the plate.
So a 6-pitch at bat.
See, now even though Andino with runners at second and third and 1 out tried to bunt ill-advisedly, that bunt situation brings both Kochman and Longoria in. The last thing they want is him to drop a bunt down here, because again, you don't need 2 runs here. You'll take them. But 1 run gives you a lead.
Peralta taking his time. Now he's ready. And takes ball 1.
Now, those 2 doubles last night off of right-handed pitching. Robert Andino, as you mentioned, wore out lefties. Came into the night 362, but righties last night, he came into that game at 159 against right-handed pitching and got 2 doubles.
You see PA at third. He's the go-ahead run here in the 8th. And he went too far on the check swing. Ball and a strike on Andino. There's the breakdown. 178 versus right-handed pitching.
Yeah, that number went up. And the other thing is, if you're Joel Peralta, you got first base open. I mean, you're going to make your pitch, or you're not going to make a pitch.
Nice off the plate, 2-1. So Peralta now at 20 pitches in the inning.
I mean, you only have 2 people on your bench, and there is Ramos, the lefty, the other lefty. You got Ryan Adams, and then you have Craig Tatum.
And Tatum's got to come into the game.
Right, because of PA pinch running for Matt Wieters. So again, that's why with first base open, You either make your pitch or you don't. You don't give in. You can't give in here.
2-1 on Andino. Outside, ball 3.
There's another changeup. So 3 consecutive breaking balls. Yeah, the one thing Robert hasn't been able to do this season, which is the runner in scoring position numbers, 5 for 32 coming in. Kind of an interesting year for him. He's had to play shortstop, second, third, left field. But a chance to put the O's ahead here.
PA and Scott, the base runners, now with 2 men down. 3-1 on Andino. He can look for a good one. Called strike and a breaking ball. And right now, Andino's thinking, does this guy have a fastball?
Well, again, the game dictates a lot of the times what you throw, your kind of your stuff, your experience. Robert did have an opportunity there, 3-1, to look for a breaking ball, and that was probably the one that Peralta's thrown that didn't have the best bite. That was just to get me over a breaking ball, and it kind of hung a little bit.
Well, 3-2 with 2 men down in the bottom of the 8th. And it's low, ball 4. So the bases are loaded with 2 men down. And it'll be up to the veteran pitcher against the rookie batter. PA at third, Scott at second, and Andino at first with 2 men down.
Well, if you're Brandon Snyder, you've had a chance. I mean, it came up the end of last year. You're sitting on the bench, you're in the on-deck circle. You get a pretty good idea what this guy can do and what he can't do. And you know he's got 2 pretty good off-speed pitches, the changeup and that curveball. And until you get the 2 strikes, you can sit soft.
Brandon 1 out of 3 on the night. And he looks it over low, ball 1. So now the pressure beginning to mount on Peralta, nowhere to put Snyder.
Well, you made a good point, and John Judge is going to come out and talk to him. He's thrown so few fastballs, he doesn't have any command of it.
Jaso having a chat with Peralta, and the fans are really getting into it now. They want to get this running in the bottom of the 8th. One and 0 on Snyder, bases loaded, 2 down. Breaking ball low, ball 2.
Well, I can tell you right here, you can look fastball here. And when you can sit on it, make sure it's a strike. You made a great point. You have a lot of times the veterans will pry on the avaricious nature of the hitter because they'll expand the zone. You don't need to do it here. Look for your pitch. If it's not in that zone, take it.
Peralta really taking his time. Ball 3. I'll tell you what, Jim. Brandon Snyder in this at-bat is really impressing with his patience. Ballpark's going crazy. 2 outs in the inning. Go ahead, run a third. And he's doing exactly what you're describing, waiting for his pitch.
Well, yeah, and in all fairness, Peralta hadn't even been close. I mean, he hadn't even thrown any. Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of both of those things.
3-0 on Snyder. And he's taken all the way, and there's a strike. 3-1.
Is he taken here?
You might want him.
Well, again, if he doesn't throw a strike, he's going to get that 5th run.
And again, Jaso requesting time. This is a defensive shift. They're trying to get the attention of Matt Joyce in right field. And they're moving Joyce more towards the gap.
Well, what they do is they've been playing in the right center because of the count. They're going to move over about 3 steps. Smart baseball.
3-1 on Snyder. And he fouled it back.
Pretty good swing. Hittable pitch. I mean, if you're Joel Peralta, you got to aim for the middle of the plate. Hope it doesn't go there.
The manager's anxiously looking on.
Saab Yoon right with him. The new intern for Richie Vancel's and the Oriole training staff.
Well, everybody will be running on the pitch.
Saab's got the best internist hair in baseball.
PA from third, Scott from second, Andino from first, and a full count on Brandon Snyder. 2 down in the inning. And Peralta steps off. He's about to throw his 29th pitch in this inning.
Well, 25,000 plus. They're getting to see a pretty good game tonight.
Now the right-hander is ready. 3-2 on Snyder. The runners go, and a bloop down the right side that's fading back foul, and it's in the stands. Snyder had 26 RBIs in 47 games in AAA.
The kind of game and inning right here, Jim, if there was an outhouse behind the mound, he'd probably call timeout and ask to use it. I need a moment.
This will be the 7th pitch in the at-bat to Brandon Snyder. 3-2. Bases loaded, 2 down. Runners will be off. And high ball 4, and the Orioles get the lead. What an at-bat for Brandon Snyder, patiently drawing the walk. And the Orioles get the lead in the bottom of the 8th, 5-4.
Pretty good time for your first RBI of the year. Limited at bats.
So Brandon Snyder has a run score tonight. Talking to Wayne Kirby there at first base. And now the lineup turns over. Here's J.J. Hardy. Bases still loaded with 2 down. Now you look for insurance. And it's high, 1-0, badly overthrown. So now Kevin Gregg, who was getting loose anyway to come in, now can come in for a save situation. And again, Jaso out to the mound. There's Kevin. With Rickett there in the bullpen.
Well, 31 pitches. And the Orioles have had some quality. Juan Cruz getting loose. Or the lefty Ramos. And again, a totally rebuilt bullpen for the Rays this year. Still, they came in 5th in the American League in earned run average. Doing a nice job.
Yeah, 3.52, that bullpen ERA. Oh, Hardy. He saw that hanger. He could hardly help himself.
Well, he came from the school of Nick Markakis. The grand slam last night was on a hanging hook. This one stays a little bit out of the zone. Sometimes you get a little bit lucky.
a little smirk. Oh, yeah, I saw it.
It's like playing the slots, and the right vegetables or whatever comes up.
Line towards short. Oh, what a play by Brignac. He gets up and he throws, and he got him. Brignac just saved 2 runs. But Brandon Snyder with the at-bat of the night draws a bases-loaded walk. The Orioles 3 outs away from a win. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Saturday night here at Camden Yards, and Kevin Gregg coming on to try to earn the save. Jim, he has been on some kind of a roll.
Well, he really has. He's always had good stuff. Will he throw it over? Well, that's the question. You can see 5 for 5, 12 on the year. And again, his stuff has been very, very crisp. So he'll tell you, I'm not going to give in. 12 out of the 15 saves, low ERA, low batting average, both against righties and lefties. And again, it's not going to be easy because you're right at the beginning of your lineup.
And then he gets ahead of Damon 0-1. Felix PA stays in the game. He's in left field. He's in Weeder's spot in the lineup, and Craig Tatum comes on. He is in the number 6 spot, vacated by Nolan Reimold.
Ooh. Wow. Pretty good heater right there, outside corner.
Gregg has converted saves in his last 4 appearances. The 0-2, broken bat, bloop to left. PA a long run in. He'll get there. 1 away in the 9th inning.
Well, that's a departure. 3 straight strikes and 3 excellent thrown balls. Johnny Damon knows it's a big strike zone tonight, at least on most of the night. So you start looking at matchups, and it just tells you the past. Zobrist never a hit, but he did almost hit that home run in that, the 3rd game of the season. Markakis made an outstanding grab at the wall down in Tampa, but he's 0 for 5 lifetime.
And of course, what Tampa Bay's thinking here, down by a run, they're just looking for a pitch they could drive and try to hit it out of the ballpark. And as Jim mentioned, all 3 hitters coming up this inning have that potential.
Well, yeah, I think they're really just, obviously that would be the grand prize, but they just want to get somebody on. Of course, Joyce, one of the leaders in batting average, and there's another outstanding. So that's 5 pitches, 5 strikes. This is not Mr. April. This is Captain Chaos. He's not pitching like that tonight. And not only are they strikes, they're quality strikes.
He's only allowed 3 hits in his last 7 appearances. Defensive swing, fouled it off. Here's an update for the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Well, you had 2 home runs, driving 3. Mark Reynolds leading at 93%. You still have time to vote. Text it in, A, B, or C, to 51862, and Amber and Rick will have the results coming up on O's Extra Post Game.
You mean, Mark, you can call me Kevin Reynolds?
And the breaking ball low, Zobrist lays off.
And that was a good one. A nice little take there by Ben Zobrist. You're right. He's hoping to get a ball inside middle. But again, we've already seen him with a couple of doubles. He can go quickly down the right field line. He doubled the right field corner, left center.
Slices it to left. PA, a long run, still going. Off the glove and in the corner. And now he's got to run it down. Zobrist has good speed. He's trying to get to third. Here's the throw, and he is safe at third. Off the end of the glove, PA with a good effort, but he just couldn't get there as it was slicing away from him.
Well, tough play, and the ball is moving right to left. That's what happens off the bat, and off his glove, it's the ball he usually catches. Not an easy play. He just doesn't catch it, and then scrambles. And Zobrist, you got to give him credit. He's running all the way, and he legs it into a triple. You can't be at second when you can be at third, and that's what Ben Zobrist does. And Gregg will finally wrestle to the ground right in front of home plate.
So Tampa Bay now, the tying run in the 9th, 90 feet away. And the Orioles will face Matt Joyce now with the infield drawn in. Nice block by Tatum on a ball in the dirt.
Well, you got a guy on deck that already has 2 RBIs, so it puts a lot of pressure on Kevin Gregg, because obviously he doesn't want to give up a base hit. But on the other hand, you don't want to give up the tying run and the go-ahead run. Of course, his mentality is, if I don't make the perfect pitch to Matt Joyce, and we've seen this, I'll deal with Longoria. And how do they match up? 2 for 5.
2-0 on Joyce. In the dirt, ball 3. And Kevin Gregg is very obviously pitching carefully and/or around Joyce. If Joyce reaches, it does set up the chance for a double play.
Yeah, one pitch to get 2 outs. If things go your way. Tampa Bay, of course, is saying now we got the potential go-ahead run at first base if Joyce reaches.
3-0 is high, ball 4, so there's a walk. And Gregg now will go to work on Longoria, and the Orioles will be able to get the infield back at double play depth. You see Willie Randolph there. He's positioning the infielders. Orioles bench and infield coach. Talking with J.J. Hardy, and trying to move back just a bit.
Well, you got really good speed at third, average speed at first, and Longoria stole 15 bases one year, so not automatic double play ball.
Gregg misses outside, 1-0. So the triple by Zobrist has given Tampa Bay life. Runners on the corners with 1 down. And their star at the plate. Ball 2.
Well, Peralta certainly hoping. He gave up the go-ahead run. He's the one for the moment.
There's a pitch that gets in there for a strike, and not sure Longoria was looking for that.
No, well, how can you? Well, again, Captain Chaos doesn't give in. He throws a slider at him and catches the inside corner.
2-1, 1 down. Fouled off, 2-2.
And then the good cut fastball at 89. You know, it's funny. You usually think, and Kevin Gregg can throw ground balls, that you'd throw a 2-seam fastball, never thrown one in his life. He said it doesn't sink. That's why he kind of opens up and almost, he goes left, and big guy at 6'6" twists the ball back to home plate. A very unusual windup, but he's looking for a ground ball here.
Popped up. Reynolds in near the mound, tells Gregg, get out of the way, I got it, and he does. 2 men down.
Well, that's an amazing pitch. And because he was able to throw that slider at him 2-0, watch this one. Down and away, 2-0. There's the one that catches the inside corner. There's the good one, and watch this one. It just kind of cuts, and Longoria goes, you know what, I can't let that go. It's been called a strike, and you get the pop-up. So again, terrific job of staying out of the middle of the plate with movement by Kevin Gregg.
The man who lives on the black.
Well, that's, you know what, it's not like he's hiding that fact from anybody. That's my style.
Here's Kochman, first and third, 2 down. And just outside, 1-0. Kochman has a 2-for-4 night. Infield hit in the 7th.
And he's never faced Kevin Gregg. And you got a guy on deck that's 3-for-5 in B.J. Upton.
There's a strike.
And that ball is so far off the corner. And again, Kevin Gregg taking advantage of it. You judge for yourself right here. I mean, what? On the chalk.
Nice job there by Tatum framing. Ball and a strike. Line drive center field. Adam Jones in on it. Won't get it. It's in for a base hit. Trying to get to third is Joyce. Here's the throw. It hits him, and he's going to get in there safely. So Tampa Bay has tied the game in the bottom of the 9th on a 2-out base hit by Kochman.
Yeah, and Adam Jones, he doesn't anticipate Joyce running, even though it's 2 outs. And right here, watch this. Watch this flip throw. And he just kind of can't do it. It hits, probably going to throw him out anyway. But it hits him on the back of the leg. So clutch hit by Mr. Kochman.
So Kevin Gregg, his first blown save since May the 16th. And now he's got to try to get this to the bottom of the 9th tied. Here's Upton. Same situation, first and third. Inside, 1-0. So that play made by Brignac on that smash by Hardy looming larger now to end the bottom of the 8th. That saved 2 runs. And Ricardo's now getting loose. And then that's over to low, ball 2. The Orioles in the bottom of the 9th will have Markakis, Jones, and Guerrero coming up. In what is now a 5-5 game, as Greg trying to get out of it with Joyce at 3rd and Kochman at 1st. And a bounce of foul. Good breaking ball. Upton is hitless on the night. And Kyle Farnsworth now getting loose in the event that Tampa Bay gets the lead. Swung through by Upton, and Upton asked Tim Welke, was that a strike? I guess Welke said yes because Upton nodded yes in return.
Well, that's a zoom ball. Great life on that fastball up and away.
2-2 is sharply grounded foul. So that 1-out triple got them going.
Well, how about a night for Zobrist? 2 doubles and a triple. And it was a hustle triple. Out of the box. It's textbook. Because otherwise it's just a double. Big difference with 1 out being a 2nd versus 3rd.
2-2 on Upton. Outside, ball 3. Upton 0 for 4 tonight. He is 4 for 29 on Tampa Bay's road trip, which has 2 more games to go. They have been to Seattle, they have been to Anaheim, now to Baltimore, and then they go to Detroit for 1 game for a makeup. Runner from first, Kochman will run. Here's the 3-2, called strike 3. Upton didn't think so, and Greg gets out of it. But Tampa Bay gets the run to tie it. We're going to the bottom of the 9th in a 5-5 game.
But oh, what a game it was. Tampa Bay was up 3-0. The Orioles fought back on 2 home runs by Mark Reynolds to take the lead. Tampa comes back, ties it. The Orioles have a chance in the bottom of the 9th to win it all.
Can they get it done? We'll be here with all the post-game action. We'll see in just a few. Back to Jim and Jim in the booth.
All right, Amber and Rick, thanks very much, as the Orioles now have a chance to win it with a walk-off, and Kevin Gregg coming off the field not happy at allowing Tampa Bay to tie this game. Cesar Ramos, Jim, comes on here in the 9th.
Again, part of the rebuilt bullpen. Jason Bartlett goes to San Diego. They get Russell. They get Ramos. They get Cruz coming off shoulder surgery. Peralta from Washington. So he's one of the guys, pieces of the puzzle for Joe Madden. Joe Madden used to say, every time I go on my bike rides, he takes a bike on the road trips. He said I would think about what am I going to do with my pitching that night. So maybe the bike trip's a little longer this year with a totally new faces out there. But they've done a nice job. Again, the 5th best ERA as collectively of the American League. So they bring him in because Markakis will lead off. 188 against right-handed hitters, and not quite as well, but good numbers, 229. And we remember him because he threw the grand slam on the 15th of May by J.J. Hardy down at the Trop in St. Petersburg.
Ramos from Los Angeles. He attended Long Beach State. So here's Markakis trying to get on to start this bottom of the 9th. And a bunt attempt, and he missed it. Not a bad idea. Longoria was very deep.
Well, not only I think he's trying to hit this ball or push it down or pull it down the right field line. Kochman's almost in the outfield, and that's the first time I've ever seen him do that. I can't imagine it's something he practices regularly.
Down and away, 1-1.
Well, a couple of hits, 6 RBIs last night with a double and a grand slam. Hands changed. They've gone back above his shoulder, trying to stay back on that back leg.
Pop foul back at third, shallow left, and it falls foul. Nice effort out there by Justin Ruggiano going into a dive, and nice job by Brignac to leap over him.
Longoria on the run of all 3 of them. You made a great point, though. Brignac, really struggling with the bat in his first year as a somewhat, but he saved the day for them with that grab off of J.J. Hardy, who hit a rocket up the middle. Otherwise, the Orioles would have scored a couple of extra runs in the 8th.
Tampa Bay is the best fielding team in the American League. No errors in this game, and just 30 on the year, and they're playing in their 64th game. 1-2 on Markakis. Inside. 2-2. Jones on deck, then Guerrero. Each team double digits with the hits tonight. Tampa Bay has 12. The Orioles have 10. Orioles have left 8. Tampa Bay has left 10. And Markakis fouls it straight back. Nick has 2 singles and 4 trips. Price wins 6, 4 runs on 8 hits. Howell a scoreless inning, helped out by Ruggiano, robbing Hardy of a home run. Peralta allowed the 1 run in the long bottom of the 8th, and now Ramos. And Nick pops it up foul. Third base side, there's Longoria, and he's got it for the out. 1 away in the 9th inning.
Nice pitch by Ramos up and in. And after a couple of good breaking balls early on. Last year, as we told you, pitched for San Diego most of the year. He was a starter down at AAA Portland, and then came to the big leagues, 14 games. They really struggled, 18 hits and 8 in the 3rd innings. And then a couple 9 strikeouts. So again, they needed to rebuild their bullpen. They had Brignac to put in at shortstop, and Bartlett had good trade value.
Here's Adam Jones. He is 1 out of 4 RBI double. Line to center field, Upton over quickly, and he's got it for the out. That ball was hit hard.
And also, I think, knuckled a little bit. Boy, what a great jump that Upton got on that ball. And of course, he can do that. I mean, you can see him at the top of your picture right there. I mean, quickly. You can always tell what kind of jumps your outfielders get when you're on the mound, because by the time you release the ball, and the timing is such as you turn over your shoulder, if they haven't moved and the ball's up to gap, that's when you start backing up.
Well, here's Vladimir. Swings through it. Koji Uehara now getting loose.
At the inning last night on a very warm evening.
And it's outside. 1-1 the count on Vladdy.
So you're seeing from Ramos starter type of stuff. 93-mile-per-hour fastball, good changeup. That was the first pitch to Vlad, and then a breaking ball that he started Markakis off with. Here's another changeup.
Yeah, pop up. Back is Kochman. And he's got it. So Ramos a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're going extras. Koji Uehara will come on in a 5-5 game. To be with us again tomorrow. More O's action. It's the finale of this 3-game series and the homestand. Brian Mattis will be on the mound. He'll go against Tampa Bay's Wade Davis. Coverage on MASN HD begins at 1 p.m. with O's Extra presented by Verizon 4G LTE, followed by game coverage at 1:30. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. So it's a 5-5 game. Orioles work to get the lead in the bottom of the 8th on the bases loaded walk to Snyder, but a base hit by Casey Kochman with 2 down in the top of the 9th tied the game. So here is Koji Uehara to work the 10th.
Yeah, he's been on a roll. A scoreless inning last night. Did have a strikeout. Did give up a hit. Hot and humid. Of course, the Orioles at that time had a 5-0 lead, and then they would expand it to 7-0. And we'll see. Hot weather. Usually not his long suit. Back-to-back nights. Something they wouldn't have done early after the elbow injury. Early in spring training for Koji.
First ball swinging is Jaso, and he fouls it back. It is the lower third of Tampa Bay's lineup. Jaso, Ruggiano, and Brignac. And down and in, 1-1.
And he struck him out last night on a great splitter. And again, John doing what he did last year tonight. Already walked once, got a base hit, and a fly out and a ground out, so on base twice.
One and one on Jaso, who is 1 for 3 plus a walk. There's a strike. There is some weather in the area, but fortunately for the Orioles and the Rays, most of it is north of the city, up the I-83 corridor and going over Harford County. Here's the 1-2 just outside, 2-2.
You can do it all up here. Do the weather report.
Well, I saw some lightning at center field, so I thought I better check. Down and in, ball 3, 3-2 on Jaso.
Well, he's trying to get on, and you could see the fact that there is some lightning out there, so maybe that weather a little closer than your computer telling us. But again, he's looking for a ball to drive, or he'll take the base on balls. OG usually doesn't walk a whole lot of people.
And he walks the leadoff man here in the tie game in the 10th. Got ahead of him, couldn't put him away.
Well, that's the difference. You see a guy back-to-back nights. He takes a splitter that he swung at last night. So a nice adjustment by John Jaso to reach base. And now I would imagine they will play small ball. They're 3-1 in extra innings. The Orioles 3-4. So the extra has been favorable to them.
Toss to first. Calling card throw to see if Ruggiano would tip his hand.
It seems to be getting cooler. Well, maybe that weather impending.
Does square to bunt. He bunts it foul back on the screen.
You know, Ruggiano hitting over 300 at AAA Durham, probably, you know, in the middle of the lineup, not asked to bunt. It seems like it's so elementary that you'd be able to do it. It just, you know, you work on it. You know, you watch some guys are pretty religious about doing it. And other guys, you know, they put perfunctory 1 or 2 down. And
hard bunt. Snyder has it. He'll go to first base with Andino covering. So the sacrifice is successful. 3-4 on the putout, pushing Jaso the go-ahead run to second base. And the other thing that leadoff walk did is it brings Tampa Bay 1 batter closer to turning the lineup over, which means Johnny Damon likely to get another at bat here. Here's Brignac. He is 0 for 4. Flied out twice, grounded out, and called out on strikes. And he swings through it 0-1.
Well, he said 90% of the game is mental, and of course, you know, last year he was a guy that they would intersperse into the lineup with Bartlett, move him around, could play second base, and all of a sudden to give him the job, he said, "Boy, I just haven't really taken the opportunity to take advantage of it."
But with Sales outside, a ball and a strike.
It doesn't appear that his lack of offense has hurt his fielding, though.
Ball and a strike, runner at second. Ground ball weakly at the short. Hardy moves in on it and gets it to first to get the hustling Brignac 2 down. Moving to third is Jaso. Joe Madden has not used his bench tonight. He still has all 4 of his reserves on the bench. The only player left on the Orioles bench is Ryan Adams. Buck Showalter used PA to pinch run, Luke Scott to pinch hit, and that did work in the 8th inning as PA scored the, at that time, go-ahead run, and Scott doubled to get the runner to third, and then Tatum took over for Wieters, who PA pinch ran for. Here's Damon. And there's a strike.
Well, their number 1 and 2 hitters tonight have Damon's got a single and a double, and then Zobrist with 3 extra base hits. So 3 doubles, a triple, and a single. There's Zobrist and Damon. So right behind him on deck is Ben Zobrist.
Popped him up. And Dino calls. And he'll put it away. So Koji gets out of it. Leadoff walk. A man left stranded at third. Bottom of the 10th coming up in a 5-5 game. Hara pitched out of a jam, but Showalter comes over to congratulate him and get a snack. Looks like Vladdy's got all the snacks down that end of the bench.
And down into DH land. Make yourself comfortable.
So the Orioles now will look for a walk-off in the bottom of the 10th, and Felix Pie will get his first at-bat. He pinch ran for Wieters and scored the go-ahead run in the 8th. Tampa Bay then tied it in the 9th. Felix is 2 for 10 on the homestand.
Ramos came in and was pretty impressive in the 9th. Retiring Markakis, Jones, and Guerrero.
Bunts at it,
breaking ball. I mean, just think about it. Again, this is why Tampa Bay does so well. Their advanced scouts do a heck of a job. You know, they knew that they were going to lose Pena. They traded Bartlett. They knew they were going to lose Crawford. They knew their bullpen would pretty much implode and leave and go other places. So they go find somebody they think that is a starting pitcher, but with stuff good enough to make the transition into a bullpen. And Ramos has got 3 pretty nice pitches. And again, in 8 innings, you really, and that's what he pitched last year for San Diego, you can't really make a determination whether the guy can pitch or not.
Nothing in 2 on PA. That's too tight.
Almost hit him, yeah. Almost got the jersey. But a nice way to start the 10th.
And he fouled it off. Now that was a defensive protect the outside corner swing.
That was an afterthought.
Yeah, he looked fooled.
Well, you know, the first slider he threw him was terrific, and then that one was just kind of was up. But so he had seen it, and again, it's been a big strike zone on most occasions tonight. Not to be called out on strikes.
And again, same pitch, and he fouled it off. A little better look that time. Tatum is on deck. He is in Reimold's spot. And then Reynolds here in the 10th inning. Again, the only hitter left on the bench is Ryan Adams. Adams last got in a game on Tuesday against Oakland. Outside, 2-2.
You talked about going to Long Beach State, and that's where Cesar Ramos landed. He was the #1 draft choice, 35th pick. Terrific college pitcher, and as you mentioned, comes from that area.
And PA stays. Oh, he did catch it. Or did he? I thought Tim Welke said foul ball.
Yeah, but he caught it.
Yeah, foul tip held by Jaso, so that is a strikeout. I apologize. I saw Welke raise his arms in the air.
Well, he did, but he
then
caught
he
it.
finally
Yeah.
said foul. He just gave the wrong signal.
Yeah, a little two-seamer down and in, and you can see right there, nice job by John behind the plate. Another good pitch, down and in. Tough to cover.
So now with back-to-back right-handers coming up, Joe Madden will go to the bullpen, and Ramos retired all 4 he faced, so the Orioles probably not too terribly upset. He's leaving. Pitching change in the 10th in a 5-5 game. in the 10th in this 5-5 game. With back-to-back right-handers to come up.
Yeah, he's had a pretty nice year, released by Kansas City after pitching for him in 2009. Shoulder surgery back in May. So you've got Howell, who came off shoulder surgery. Cruz is having a nice year. 25 appearances, 19 of them scoreless. Did pitch a perfect inning against and got the win on Wednesday night. It was a game they won in extra innings out in Anaheim, California. So again, you're right about a veteran. This is the 6th team he has pitched for. It's a pretty good year. So when you go back to Arizona, 6-1 in 2007, 12 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Craig Tatum batting for the first time. He took over behind the plate for Matt Wieters, who was lifted for a pinch runner. Swing and a miss for strike one. Tatum's got a 3-game hitting streak going since coming up from AAA. He has hit in each of his 3 starts. So Ramos goes an inning and a third, retired all 4 he faced. And a good eye, takes ball 2.
You can see the game plan early on: slider, fastball, slider. And Craig Tatum, because he doesn't play a whole lot, he started last year with Terry Crowley, hitting instructor, now a consultant for the O's, now with Jim Presley. Use the whole field, back up the middle, try to stay on the ball. Occasional double power. And that pitch right there, something in the middle of the plate. Hope you can drive it up the alley.
One out, none on, tied 5-5 in the 10th. Price, the Tampa Bay starter, lasted 6 innings, as did Jeremy Guthrie, the Orioles starter. And that's strike 3 called on a breaking ball. Tatum knew it, he just walks away.
There's the slider again, and it's a late breaking one. He gives up on it. Ends up right in the middle of the plate.
So does Reynolds have a 3rd home run in that bat tonight? He has already gone deep twice. In the 5th inning, this home run off Price to right field got the Orioles on the board. Then his 2-run shot in the 6th off Price gave the Orioles a 4-3 lead.
And they were briefly teammates in 2007 on the Diamondbacks, Cruz and Reynolds, so they know each other. And there's the slider again, and it's a pretty good one. Constant battle. If you come out of the bullpen, you got a scouting report. Can you execute the pitch designed to get the hitter out? And then can you do it in a hurry? There may be somebody on. Not the case now.
0-2. Well, there are 3 defensive plays in this game that have loomed large. Rusciano robbing Hardy of a home run. Brignac robbing Hardy of what might have been a base hit to allow a run to score. And then the throwing error by Andino. That was back in the 7th inning with 2 down on that infield hit that allowed an unearned run to come in.
And then the PA not able to catch the ball off the bat of Zobrist, who hustled his way into a triple.
High fly ball to center field. He got under it and then some. Upton waits, and he's got it. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Tampa Bay's bullpen. On we go to the 11th, tied at 5. 11th, and here is Jeremy Accardo, Jim, coming on. Fourth reliever pitcher used by the Orioles tonight.
Yeah, Tuesday against Oakland, he pitches well and pitches a little bit more than he's used to. 2 1/3 innings, couple of hits, a strikeout. So again, maybe a few too many walks, but he has been pitching well. Kind of one of those peaks and valleys type of year. You know, been on a real good streak, on only 1 earned run in 6 games, last 10 1/3 innings, so good, and then 9 earned runs in 10 1/3 innings before that. But they've encouraged him. You have good stuff. Throw some strikes. Do not get behind the hitters. And again, it's right into the heart of the lineup. So big, huge inning for the Orioles and Jeremy Accardo.
So Joe Madden looking over the matchups. He has 4 more pitchers in the bullpen, including Alex Cobb. Here's Zobrist, who's had himself a huge night and got the big hit off Greg in that 9th inning rally.
Well, he's used the whole ballpark too, and this is a ball that looked like PA was going to catch, and not only did he miss it, he hustled it into a triple. And now he's worked himself into a hitter's count of 2-0. This is why it's so difficult. You got a guy that you know. I mean, if you one thing you do as a bullpenner, you do watch the game. You know he's having a good night. Already 3 extra base hits.
Bounce towards first. Snyder. It hit off the chalk and skipped on past him. What a bad break for the Orioles. Zobrist has another double. He's got 4 extra base hits.
Well, you're playing the line to take away exactly what happens. So you don't anticipate a bad hop. If you're Brandon Snyder, you're over there. I mean, again, it hits sharply and then it stays down. Right here, he's in a good position to catch it, and then look, you got to do the limbo right there to catch that ball. It just stays down. He can't get to it.
So Joyce yet again getting on base, this time the lead off an inning, and here's Matt Joyce. Bounce towards second base, and Dino charges. He'll get it to first, 1 down, but Joyce does exactly what he wanted to do.
Well, you give yourself up. And it's part of winning baseball. I mean, that's what the situation calls for. That's why they call it situational hitting. Get him over. Boy, a lot of pressure on the Orioles defense and Jeremy Accardo.
Evan Longoria is 2 out of 4. He has a couple of RBI hits. Infield drawn in for the Birds. And there's a strike.
Boy, it's nice to be in a situation where you don't even have to get a hit. He's looking for something to put in the air.
Bounce towards third, foul.
Oh, I take that back. It's not a good pitch to swing at until you get the 2 strikes. Carden made a great pitch.
Well, your theory was correct.
Well, I mean, that's what you anticipate. And so Longoria, it's been a tough year ever since the oblique injury happened in that first 3 games of the year against the Orioles.
Ricardo's ahead of him 0-2. And well off the plate outside. There's a purpose pitch that went too far away, and he could not entice the hitter.
A nice play by Craig Tatum, who corrals it. You don't catch that. You corral a ball that far off the plate.
1-2 on Longoria. And then sharply pulled foul.
And you could see how quick he is, even though he knows it's a big strike zone. We're in the 11th inning, so ample evidence of that. And again, up and in, he can get to that ball. He has the ability to barrel the ball. Keep his hands in and get the bat out in front with the best of them.
This would be a heartbreaker for the Orioles to lose after battling all night long. 5-5 game here in the 11th. The 1-2 to Longoria. There's Bloop to left center field, and there's a base hit, and Tampa Bay gets the lead. Longoria's third RBI of the game.
Well, it's a great approach. You try to maybe get a pitch you could hit in the air, and then when you get to 2 strikes, do you overswing? Nope. I mean, look at him go cover the outside corner. Not a bad pitch, a bad result. And it all happened when the bad bounce doubled. Let's set up this whole inning.
So Longoria has 3 hits. Each hit has driven in a run. And what a night for Zobrist. He has scored 4 times on each of his 4 extra base hits. And Kochman takes ball 1. So now the Orioles will need a run to get back even in the bottom of the 11th. Andino, Snyder, and Hardy are due up.
Yeah, he got the big hit to tie it.
Longoria runs, and it's fouled off. And Kyle Farnsworth is now getting loose to come on for a save opportunity.
He's been good. I think it's 14 out of 15. There's a 13 out of 14. 1 blown save all year. Let me rephrase that.
Well, the Orioles got the lead in the 6th. Tampa Bay tied in the 7th on the unearned run. Orioles got the lead in the 8th. Tampa Bay tied again in the 9th with the earned run off Kevin Gregg, and now they have the lead with this run here in the 11th. One and one on Kochman. And that's lined towards the gap in right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Adam Jones trying to get to it to prevent Longoria from scoring. He's being sent. Here's Andino's throw towards the plate. It is well up the line, and Longoria scores. They may have had a play with a good throw, but Andino's throw up the line. So Kochman with an RBI double, and Tampa Bay has a 2-run lead.
Now he gets a cutter, and Adam Jones will make a nice play to get to it and then quickly get it into Andino. But he's learning this position, so his body, again, maybe not quite tilted in the right angle at home plate. Strong throw, but it's just about 15 feet up the line. So the add-on runs to make it easier for Farnsworth. And not only did they get the run, they get the ball up the gap by Kochman, so 2 big hits for him tonight. And he gets into scoring position for B.J. Upton.
And he swings through it 0-1.
Cutter's a great pitch, but not if it ends up in the middle of the plate. And that one just happened to do that, and Kochman was all over it.
Foul back 0-2.
That might have gone right into the crushed core. Do they do extra innings?
Oh, absolutely.
Do they? Okay.
So the Orioles were trying to get back to 500 for the first time since May the 26th, and now will have to come from behind in the 11th. Upton stays alive. Still only 1 out in the inning. Taken low. Nice block by Tatum. So the blown save got this game to extras, and Tampa Bay has now taken the lead in the 11th, because in the 9th and 10th, 3 up, 3 down. The combination of Ramos and Cruz. High pop, shallow right. Markakis in on it. And puts it away for the second out. Back to second base goes Kochman. So Kochman has a 4-hit game. Zobrist has a 4-hit game.
Well, they are tough against right-handed pitching. Always liked Casey Kochman. Ever since he came up with the Angels. This is Dad, a longtime scout manager in that organization. He was a non-roster guy.
Tampa Bay's his 5th team, even though he was a former first-round draft pick of the Angels. And he's playing in his hometown, St. Pete. Big bounce to Andino. He'll get it to first. That'll retire Jaso. And the inning ends, but the damage done. Tampa Bay gets 2. Bottom of the 11th coming up. Birds down by a couple. Top of the 11th, they hand the baseball to their closer, Kyle Farnsworth.
Well, he's done a nice job. I mean, always been a guy that can throw in the upper 90s, hard breaking ball. So, again, you can see the save against the Orioles. He's been pretty efficient. So, again, 13 out of 14, and, minuscule ERA. And, again, last year they had Rafael Soriano, who signed a 3-year deal for $36 million with the Yankees. He's on the DL, may not be back till after the All-Star break. But they go out and get Farnsworth, and he came into the year. I mean, he's 35 years old. He's been in the big leagues 13 years, and only 27 career saves. So they give him the opportunities, and he seized it. He's done a great job.
He'll go to work on 8, 9, and 1, and Dino, Snyder, and Hardy. So somebody will try to get on for the tying run to come to the plate. And Dino hitless on the night, but he did draw a walk in that rally in the 8th inning. Tampa Bay has had 5 innings in which they've had multiple hits, more than one hit, and those are the 5 innings they've scored. Even in the first inning on Guthrie, when they only got 2 hits, the 2-out double with 2 down by Longoria got a run in. And Andino takes strike 1.
An easy 97. My second year here, we had a guy who got in the Rule 5, Gene Brabender. And he used to take the steel rods that they used to put the tarps in and just bend them. That's in Black Earth, Wisconsin. I get the feeling Farnsworth could do that. He's a big, strong guy. 6'4"-ish, 230.
Ground ball knocked out by Farnsworth, trying to locate it. He does, and gets it to first. So the all-important first out in the 11th inning.
Makes a good pitch. It'll get a good result. And right there, knocks it down. Where is it? Somewhere. There it is. Easy play once you locate it. Which is he does right here, and then Kochman does the rest, dances out of the way.
So here is Brandon Snyder, who walked with the bases loaded in the 8th to give the Orioles a 5-4 lead. And since then, 8 in a row have been retired.
Well, you're pretty much seeing from the Rays, one of the better road teams. And if they win tonight, they'll be 20-14 on the road. And that's because they scored 2 more runs a game. And we've seen that tonight. They came in averaging, at least into last night, averaging just a little over 5 runs a game. Smidgen over that on the road. 3 at home.
Jones and Markakis looking on. So you're looking for the heater, and he bends that off, and it's 0-2.
A lot of times if that's the case and you hang your breaking ball, which he did, that ball gets waffled. That's one of the big differences I see. Not that this hanging slider won't go a long way, but a lot of times it speeds up the bat, and guys will take it. And then he throws at 99. 99. Wayne Gretzky numbers.
Ball and 2 strikes on Snyder. And he got him. So Snyder down on strikes. That off-speed pitch was 90.
Yeah, well, and what's the tilt? The tilt is when you get on top of it and the bottom drops out of it because of your angle. Your hand is able to stay on top of it. That is a well-thrown slider. Now, of course, he set it up with the 99-mile-per-hour heater. And a good slider, you just don't pick up the spin. The bad one hangs around, waits to get hit.
J.J. Hardy now takes a strike.
Well, one of my keys tonight was the Hickey project. And, he's a terrific pitching coach, and he's got Farnsworth pitching as well as he's ever pitched.
Check swing denied on the appeal. Well, the bullpens have been in play in this game since the 7th inning. Tampa Bay's bullpen has given up just 1 run. The Orioles bullpen has given up 4. One of those the unearned run charged to Jim Johnson. 3-1, so Hardy is a ball away from bringing Markakis to the plate representing the tying run.
Well, you would think he'd be taken here because he just wants to get on. He represents the 6th run, and Markakis the tying run on deck. So this is a take situation. Make him throw a strike. And he does, and he does. And again, 96 down the chute with good movement.
Well, full count on Hardy, 2 down. Line, base hit into left field, past the dive of Brignac. So the Orioles get the tying run to the plate with 2 down.
Boy, is he swinging the bat well. Just missed the home run. Ruggiano rocked him right here. I mean, just a rocket in by Brignac. You could see great range by the Rays shortstop. Couldn't get it.
So Hardy picks up the hit. He's 1 out of 6. So in extra innings extends his hit streak to 5 straight. And here's Markakis, who ended his home run drought last night, representing the tying run here tonight.
Those are nice little career numbers. 4 for 8.
And ball 1 taken. Hardy took off because they gave him second base. So it will not be a stolen base, but nonetheless, Hardy's in second base at scoring position. It also takes away the force.
Yeah, that's the key to that. It makes a little bit more pressure. Forces them to get the out at first.
Ground ball towards second. Zobrist to his left has it. He'll get it to first, and Tampa Bay wins it. So a real disappointing loss for the Orioles as Tampa Bay ties it in the 9th and wins it with 2 in the 11th, and they deny the Orioles a chance to get back to 500. Well, we invite you to join us tomorrow. Morrow's action, rubber game of the 3-game series. Brian Mattis will be on the mound against Wade Davis. Coverage begins at 1 o'clock on MASN HD with those extra, presented by Verizon 4G LTE, and then game coverage at 1:30 p.m. Now for Jim Palmer and our entire crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Oriole Park. Once again, our final score in 11 innings, Tampa Bay gets 2 in the top of the 11th and beats the Orioles by a final of 7-5 tonight. tonight's telecast, a massive presentation. Stay tuned now. Amber Theo Harrison, Rick Dempsey coming up next with those extras.